Previously on Team X.
We're not gonna join you. Sorry.
He seems perfectly safe,
No,
but
I'm going
not
to
safe.
he's very nice.
No, not nice.
No,
I'm gonna-
Thunuk, no!
Not
Bad.
nice.
Take
Not
that out of
safe.
your mouth.
Drop it.
Spit it out. Spit it out.
Be
Spit
like,
it
well,
out right. What do you have in your mouth?
Oh, yeah. You know, I wrote a song once about something similar that's happening right now, and it goes a little something like this.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you,
It goes
fuck you,
like
eat
this.
shit.
You're not gonna touch my friends.
I detect your bullshit.
He starts playing his lute and he goes, "The rabbit runs up the hill and down across the mossy fen. It runs around until it's time to rest its head again. Whatever the clever rabbit dreams, nothing's really as it seems. Along the way, it's time to play a game where we pretend." And he just keeps playing this song over and over again.
Oh, wow.
I'm basically gonna cast thunder
My God.
under our feet.
How
And
many
hope
hit
it
points does
works.
Rock have?
I don't know.
This is rock.
I never thought I would have to ask that
It's like
question.
per foot of thickness. I don't actually.
Yeah.
The beautiful part, though, of Shatter is if you are going to give hit points to the ground,
Mhm.
it has disadvantage because it's stone.
Well, of
It's
course.
true.
Hang on, let's do this. How many hit points does Rock have in Dungeons and Dragons?
25 hit points. According to ADD,
5 hit points. I win because I can cast
immune to
up
poison
to
and
like
psychic
5d8.
I'm going to point to him and I'm going to say, "Haven't you ever heard of personal space?" "Oh, I suppose not, since you're so impersonal and you take up so much space."
Oh my God.
And
You see your mother reach out with both hands, and she makes this grasping motion, and you feel like this magic wave wash over you, and you feel like this constriction, but you're able to kind of like shrug it off. But your cousins are suddenly held still. They suddenly stiffen up like they've been grasped by some kind of arcane, invisible hands. And she just looks at you and she says, "It's time for all of you to get your treatment. And we're going now."
That's like one of those design aesthetics that just is, it's gonna piss me off. I'm gonna get mad at it.
To eat away at your sanity and your soul and everything.
So we're going to
Especially
start
since
today
my name
with
is still
Clues.
wrong.
Not Drenmai, but Clues has to now roll a sanity check.
Fine.
And
I'm gonna do 20.
but while she's rolling that d20, I will introduce what's going on here because it is
Fuck.
Sunday. It is 4 p.m., our regularly scheduled time. We actually started on time. Everything's going well, so shh, don't scare anything. The technology
I
is
can
working.
fix that.
Don't. And yeah, we are going to play some Dungeons and Dragons. I am Brian Wiggins. I am your dungeon master for today, for the foreseeable future, but who knows? And this is Team X, Team Xenagogue, for those who aren't into the whole brevity thing. And Team X is an official franchise of Acquisitions Incorporated that operates out of Pinedale with exclusive rights to the Chondalwood region. And there's a lot of business that we need to get to today. There's a lot of paperwork. You know, these forms aren't going to fill out and file
we're gonna have
themselves.
to sign some death forms, maybe.
Insurance claims. Listen.
Dude, you think Acquisitions Incorporated gives its employees insurance?
No,
really?
I think Acquisitions Incorporated takes out insurance on their employees, so that way, when they die, they're the
insurance scam.
They're the beneficiary. I mean, that's the ultimate. This is the long play here, right? It's the big play. But we have time to get to all these things, okay? But before that, we have to introduce all of this rabble, so that way people will understand what is happening. So we will start where we always start, with the introductions.
Oh, hi. My name's still wrong.
Oh, it's been corrected. It just hasn't kicked in for some reason.
Okay. Wait, on our overlay thingy?
Yes.
That's table talk it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Clues playing my Gem Weaver with Jay. Tinker Gnome extraordinaire. I caused all kinds of chaos. I halfway remember my plan to actually get us out of this, and we'll see if it actually works. Also, there's dogs barking somewhere.
There are dogs barking because my dogs are annoying. So, moving along.
Hello. I'm Viking Goat. I play Thunuk General Trunk. Everyone's friendly neighbor, nature domain cleric person who is about to get brainwashed by his mom.
Come on, Mom.
Come on, Mom. Yeah, it's not looking good there.
It's not. It really isn't.
But yeah.
These things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Can't help it. Anyway, moving along.
I take it that's me.
That is you, yes.
I am Blind Cleric. I am playing Hugon Valander, human fighter, who is on a mission currently to disrupt the divine connection of this priest or shaman or whatever he is to the slaves that he's made. And I don't know what Drenmai is doing because I'm not in the room. And I have no real idea of what's happening right now, so.
Wonder how hard Hugon would have tried to stop Dreadmaya.
I'd have killed you.
I'd have killed you dead. Let's just be honest here.
Let me rephrase that. I would have tried to kill you. Whether or not I would have succeeded is kind of a matter of your AC and your hit points.
And a whole bunch of rolls, and we won't. Okay. All right, we just fixed Drenmai's name. Anyway, moving on to the last but by no means least.
Hi, I'm Roz, aka Purple Monkey Robots, and I play Eno, the Tiefling Bard, and I don't think I'm going to have time to train my replacement. Sorry about that.
We're going to have to let you go, but before you go, could you train this person how to do all the things?
I don't know. Can you sit on your own middle fingers?
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Which is usually how I approach that.
Yeah.
So, when we
No.
last...
You have to say I'm the dungeon master and all that stuff.
Hey, you still haven't done your introduction now.
That was the very first thing I said.
He said that already.
He already did that. He literally,
said,
that was
"My
the
name is
first
Brian
words
Wiggins.
out of his mouth.
I'm the dungeon master for today. For the
I zoned
foreseeable
out then.
future, we don't know what happens. Go to the tape.
Say it again.
See? Just said it again.
Sure.
Keep saying it. That's
Just
the only
keep saying
thing.
it until I figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do.
Oh, we're vamping for time. Because if we would like to recall last week's game, 2 weeks ago, because last week we had a Nurgle interlude. That'll be a one shot.
Yeah, I
that we'll
was
go back to
dying.
later. It'll be a
I don't
flashback
really
one
want to do a
shot.
Nurgle interlude. I really don't.
The Nurgle one shot. But if you would remember the previous episode, Team X had, through various and sundry means, gotten into the stone giant stronghold. Some of them walked in under their own power. Some of them snuck in through the back door. And through all of this, a few revelations happened. One, we found that Thunuk's mom was there, but maybe not quite herself. We don't know. She's got some weird glowing stuff happening with her eyes. Doesn't seem to remember Thunuk. Is talking about people getting their treatments. We've got Hugon, who is attempting to infiltrate a ritual space because he feels like maybe if we destroy the CPU, the epicenter of this, maybe this will be the source of this being's power.
The relay tower,
Yeah.
as it were.
Yeah. So we'll take care of that. So that's another thing that was revealed. We revealed that Drenmai has destroyed part of the floor because we also what we did learn last week was what we did learn was the hit points of Rock.
Kind of.
Rock has 25 hit points, and
Rock has some hit points.
Shatter.
Fifth edition is like, you know what? Fuck it.
Mhm.
It has some.
And we'll just figure it out. And
We'll
Shatter
figure it
was
out.
used, and it destroyed the floor after being cast several times in a row. Destroyed a 10-foot column of floor going down a 10-foot wide, but about 30. We said it was deep, 30 feet, something like that.
30 or something like that.
Yes. And apparently this was load bearing. Who knew that you couldn't just take the floor out of something? I do have a story about that later, but it's for Chamber Talk. You cannot turn your house and you cannot turn your basement into a pool. I'm just going to say that. We also learned that Eno, I think we all learned that his judgment might be questionable at times for picking a fight with a stone giant.
It's fine.
It was not really a fight. It was a diss battle. All right.
It was. They were.
And, blows had not yet been exchanged.
They were exchanging.
Well,
they're doing the dozens there, right? It was
I did scratch him a little.
A little.
little bit.
In my mind.
Yeah.
Just a little mind scratch.
Yeah.
But that is where we currently find ourselves right now. I take this back. We had Thunuk was able to free some of his cousins from whatever control Mom had. Whatever control Mom had, it was possible that Thunuk was able to free some of his cousins from this. But then she yoked him up with some invisible force and was insisting that all would be fine if they all
Every
went
mother
and
wishes they
got
had invisible force to snag their children.
They do, though. You just
Stop moving.
it's called emotional blackmail and guilt. But
hey now.
But that is kind of where we find ourselves in the moment, and I feel like in order for us to properly adjudicate all of the various plans and plots and things that y'all are planning to do to tear apart my carefully crafted game. Anyway, I think it would be necessary to roll some initiative here. I know we had initiative last week, and it has nothing to do with the fact that I can't find that piece of paper. It has everything to do with it. It's a new week, and we should refresh things. And it might buy Drenmai some time to try to remember, very on brand, that she had a plan, but doesn't remember what it is.
Hey, this character slightly comes from real life.
Slightly.
Slightly.
Ever so slightly.
My brain was frying for the past 2 weeks, so.
So,
I got an 11.
Well, we'll do the countdown here because it makes it easier. And I got to roll some initiative for some of these other creatures that we had here. All right, that'll be for okay. Why am I missing things? Oh, where are all my notes? You think I would have all this time to get prepared? Okay. So, does anyone have 25 between 21 and 25? No one. Does anyone have between 16 and 20? No one. Does anyone have between 11 and 15? All right. So we have Dren and Hugon. Dren and Hugon, what did you guys get?
13?
11.
11. Okay. All right, let's do this.
Very small number.
Well, for a very small creature. And And then we have this. Okay. All right. I'm just getting on my initiative tracker up here, so that way I don't forget to let Thunuk go again. And okay. So anyone between 6 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did you get?
6.
A 6.
Oh, Thunuk.
Hang on, I got this. Hang on. I
Yep.
got some other rolls here to make. Okay, 17. Okay, that comes over here. All right, he's going to hold action, I think. Hang on 1 second here. I made a new initiative tracker. I'll take pictures of it later. This is why I should... Dude, I don't know whose idea it was to do this freaking initiative right off the bat, but it was a really stupid idea.
I mean, you have only yourself to blame.
I know. Listen, that's generally the rule of any dungeon master. Thunuk.
Imagine if 20 were a toddler, like a smaller 20.
Oh, you have a 2.
I have a 2.
Oh, you have a 2. Okay. Well, that's really not going to help you very much.
Probably
What is your +2 initiative?
It's a minus.
It's a minus.
He's
Two.
he's a big chonky boy.
He big chonk.
Thunuk is a
He
big...
slow chonk.
He'll get there. Listen.
He's a precious capybara boy, but our capybaras are not known for their agility.
No.
No.
It's kind of like a badger, right? A badger doesn't move quickly. But
Oh, no,
do you want to
I
fight...
don't know. Have you ever fucked with a badger before?
They
Don't.
move fast.
Yeah, they move fast.
when they need
I
to.
recommend against it.
When
I
they need
recommend
to.
it.
But until then, they move at whatever pace they want.
Listen, if there's a line graph of things you should fuck with, a badger is like at the wrong end.
Yeah. It's like right below like Tasmanian devil.
I would fuck with a Tasmanian devil before I fucked with a badger. Okay?
Sure, why not?
For
That'll
one,
be-
Tasmanian devils are smaller than badgers.
We'll figure that out another time. We'll roll all that. So, we're gonna have someone who holds their action here. Hugon, you are at the top of the order. So you and
Really? Wow. We
You
all
are.
rolled like ass.
listen, this is what happens.
Okay,
Um,
cool. Top of
so-
the order.
So you and Croc,
The buffling, yes.
the buffling, the buff halfling, who is also apparently Thunuk's older brother,
Fair.
who has been thirsty, we'll say, to kill himself some giants. He's had a deep hunger to
A hankering, if you will.
a hankering, a deep yearning, one might say. But you two, he had helped you sneak in through the back entrance, which looked to be formerly a some kind of dwarven stronghold that was hidden beneath some of the blasted trees in the blast zone that is in front of this mountain range. And you had snuck your way in, and eventually found yourself at the found your way into the giant stronghold. The architecture had changed from that of strictly dwarven to that of stone giants, and you could see there as you were sneaking in, and even into this main chamber that you find yourself, there's definitely an overlap there. Stone giants are renowned craftsmen. They are
It's true.
known. It is
It's
known.
true.
And but
Particularly with stone.
particularly with stone.
If you wouldn't have been able to guess that.
And so you've to re-describe this space as we explore the space that we are in. It is approximately 100 feet diameter, cylindrical, lit by this odd green glowing lichen that's casting an eerie glow and casting shadows. It's still very dimly lit, and the sound is very muffled in this space. It's not the same. You would expect in a space this large there would be some echo and there would be some reverb in there, but it's really very muted, which is what has given you the ability to sneak the way that you have. Hugon not necessarily being the sneaker
He isn't.
that we
He's
usually
truly not.
consider him. But in this case, he has been very successful in his sneak. And you and Croc have made your way up, as we left things last time. You guys made your way up the staircase to the second floor. And it's cylindrical, and there's 2 staircases that are winding their way up. In fact, you know what? Why don't we make this a little bit easier for everyone to kind of get an idea of the map here? I am going to switch us over to another screen that you can have a bit of an idea, rudimentarily, a rudimentary thing that's going to show up in the Twitch stream itself. And you are now on the second floor of this cylindrical place, and downstairs you see Eno and this oddly very skinny. Most stone giants are very built.
Big.
They're big. But they're also wide. They're giants. They're big. They're But this one is very almost emaciated. Very emo. He
Okay.
would probably go out to see, like, really looking forward to go see The Cure, kind of like thin, right? And he apparently is Eno and this other giant are engaged in some kind of battle of some kind. You see Thunuk facing off against another Fearbolg and some other Fearbolg around him, and you're not quite sure exactly what's going on there. If you took some time, you might be able to figure it out, but time does appear to be of the essence. You see Drenmai. She was casting. You knew what she was doing. You felt the rumble as she finally broke through the floor with this spell, and as the floor caved in, 2 of the other stone giants basically fell through into whatever was beneath them. All you can see in this hole in the middle of the room is darkness. You really can't see much of anything down there. Okay. But you did see, as this happened, there was a very loud and pronounced cracking noise, but it was very, very tight and sudden in the crack. Not like slowly breaking a piece of
like
wood.
ice.
Yeah, exactly. That's the exact sound. That sound of when you hear like tunk, is it just sort of the crack just appears, and that's what you see happen in the floor here, and you can actually feel a rumble in the room. That perhaps maybe the structural integrity isn't what it used to be, but you find yourself on the second floor here, and it's like a mezzanine that goes around this floor here, circular, and you could see on the other side of this mezzanine is a single hallway. The map that's up on the screen right now is basically the first floor for where most of the other action is going. But there's going to be on the northeast side, there is a hallway that you can see, and Croc points that out to you and says that there, that's where you get to his ritual space.
Well, that's where we're gonna go.
Right. But you can see he's like eyeing over at Thunuk, and he's like,
Thunuk did not fall through the floor.
Thunuk did not. Only 2 stone giants did. Now you do see
and
you are
since
hearing.
Dren was on top of the area that she destroyed.
No, she was able to. Dren is alive.
Okay, well, I'm not saying if she's dead. She didn't fall through the floor.
No,
I'm trying to figure out who is on the.
Your entire
level and
team
who
is
falling.
downstairs, along with Alexi. You see
Okay.
Alexi's hanging out with the Eno.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of being his hype man, doing the whole,
Right.
He's doing the Flava Flav thing, but not very well because
Incredibly ineffectively.
yeah. He just lacks a certain something.
Well, I mean,
It's a skill that he
I
just has not been
would not bring him along to a disc battle. Let's just say that.
No. There's things he's probably good at. This is not one of them. He
This
does
is not
not
one of-
invest any points into this skill tree.
It's true.
So
So I am. Hugon is continuing to proceed with all possible speed to the ritual space.
okay.
I have every faith that all 3 of my casters down on the ground floor can handle their business.
So as you work I'm sorry, go ahead.
Is this path upward, like sort of like a circular path upward, or is it just out?
So yeah, it starts to curve. It looks like it's curving. So it's like almost like an alcove in the wall that juts in, and then there's a ramp that's leading up a little bit.
Then
So you figure in a metagame way, by your next turn, you would be able to be up in that space.
Cool.
But so as you get near, just so you have an idea of what this looks like, now you have it's an archway. All of the entrances here are tall archways, enough for an 18-foot tall, 20-foot tall stone giant to safely pass without having to do the whole, bumping their head thing. I mean,
Right,
You
of
know,
course.
it is built to spec, and you can see it looks like there's various rune markings around the outside of this. And it goes in, and then and then it goes to the left and then starts ramping up, and there's still more of this green lichen, and it doesn't look like it doesn't look like it's been grown there necessarily naturally.
Hmm.
It's
Like it was seeded.
it was
Almost.
seeded. It's very much like if you've ever seen a Japanese moss garden.
Yeah.
Where the moss is it looks very, very wild, but it's that combination of curated and wild, where we put this here and we try to guide it in a certain way, but we also are allowing it to go bonsai would be another example of that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And that's kind of the aesthetic that you see going on here. That were you not in the middle of a potentially pitched battle with very large creatures, it might be very beautiful and peaceful.
I mean, like,
say.
you know, if wishes were fishes, we'd all eat for free, you know. And if you know, if I
wishes
had
were
all
horses,
the time,
we'd be knee deep in crap.
if I had the time to set everything on fire, I absolutely would be doing it, but I just don't.
Listen.
I just don't. So onward to the ritual space.
Okay.
And shall I be rolling stealth for this?
Well, if you would like to continue moving in a stealthy manner.
No, speed is more important.
Okay. So we will come back to you.
Okay.
At this moment here. And now we come to Thunuk's mom. She's not happy with you, Thunuk. You're getting that feeling. You know, like as a kid, that feeling when you know you're in trouble and you just wish your mom would yell at you. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe you never got to this, but they're just it's the disappointment more than anything. That's kind of like what you're picking up from mom right now. And she has, we've said before, her eyes have like this pale blue film almost as if a nictating membrane had slidden over the eyes. And you'd seen this with your cousins too before you were able to use your command last episode to awaken them. To get them to whatever hold was happening on them. Whatever was happening there. But hers never seemed to go away, this blue film. And she's got her hands out, and she's been grabbed onto your three cousins with some kind of invisible force, as we mentioned before. And she says to you, "Why will you not go for your treatment? Why are you fighting me on this?"
I don't think it's a good thing. I think you're sick. I think this treatment is actually bad for you. Yeah, that's a no, not gonna happen. I could help you feel better.
Beaver-headed gentle trunk. You will go for your treatment.
Beaver-headed.
Why would you call me that?
Your mom just dissed you.
Wow. That's mean. I am not beaver-headed. And that command didn't do a thing to her last time. So I have to check on something.
I gotta look something up.
No, I didn't prepare it. So I can't remove a curse.
Don't you sass me.
Oh, are my cousins also infected again, or are they still?
No, but they you are hearing they're having a very difficult time breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not sure. You might think that you're hearing the sounds of vague, small cracks and pops, like she's squeezing them, and they're not usual Fearbulg volume right now in all the places where the volume is supposed to be. It's more they're in the middle. There's a lot less volume, and
he's going to basically Thunuk's like, no, you're being mean, you're being hurtful, this is not nice, you should stop this. And then he's going to push her away.
Well, it's not his turn yet.
Oh, sorry.
It's not his turn yet. You will get to this.
All right.
Because what she is going to do is she like locks eyes with you. Specifically at the moment when you said, I'm not beaver-headed.
How dare you?
And I need you to make a we'll call this a, hang on. No, I don't have the book right here. You need to make a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a point of note, you can take advantage on this.
Why?
Because of your charges.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you do have your charges.
Yeah.
That if you do, you all have 6 charges at the moment.
I would like to take advantage on this because I rolled a 3.
Hang on a second.
Wow, I'm glad I reminded you. Wow.
So we said that was advantage was 2 charges, correct?
Yes.
So we are down to that. Okay. But that also gives me a charge.
A dark inspiration.
I gotta find mine here. Where are mine? Here's mine. And I now have my very first charge. Ooh.
Dun dun dun.
So, if we reach our first goal of 300 cheers, or we get a cheers bits, whatever thing, I will have to expend some of my dark inspiration. So,
what was my bonus again? Okay, that's much better.
okay.
That is an 18.
18.
Yes.
All right. So, you feel this concussive blast hit you, but you feel, and so you're able to like kind of like lean into it a little bit to keep you from like falling over, being pushed back. Mm-hmm. But you do take 2 points of damage.
Actually, you're not fully healed, are you? You're kind of in a shitty spot, aren't you, Thunuk?
I'm at like 1/6. I'm actually below 1/6.
Ooh, so 2 points is kind of like a oh no,
yeah.
Oh no.
No.
But you
don't likey.
So you feel like this. It almost feels like sheer force of will blowing past you, and you almost feel like it feels like a very stiff breeze blow past you as this force hits you. But you're able to lean into it and prevent anything from you from being knocked back or pushed out of place. But she starts now walking, and her and your cousins, like their toes are barely like dragging on the floor as she starts moving towards the north tunnel for whatever purposes she has in mind. But we will come back to how you will react to that in a moment. For now, it is Drenmai Gemweaver's turn.
Uh-oh.
Oh crap. Oh crap.
Shit.
F.
So let's see. Where am I in relation to, say, Thunuk and Eno right now?
All right, so Thunuk is on the northern side of that. So that spot in the middle, that black spot in the middle of the map, that's the hole you made.
Okay.
Okay, and on your Thunuk and his mom are on the northern side of that, and she started to walk towards that northern tunnel. You are on the eastern side of that hole, and Eno is in like in the southeast corner over there, having his little having his word jam, having his poetry slam over there.
That's right, because
With-
he's kind of. But things haven't gotten like fisticuffs with Eno yet, right?
Not yet. No.
Okay. And then Thunuk's being like what taken away by his mom.
No, Thunuk is not. But you see, 3 of his cousins are like you see like they're kind of like their toes are just kind of dragging on the floor, and they're like all yoked
Okay.
up and being drug away.
They're being, one might say, force choked.
I will say that when you blasted that hole in the floor and the stone giants fell through and it finally collapsed under their weight and went through, you did feel when that finally fell through, there was like a blast in your face of very humid air. One might describe the smell as putrid. Very much rotting garbage, rotting meat.
I feel like I found the sewer.
Not more like a compost heap that's been, instead of vegetables, it's being made by carnivores. There might be some vegetation in there. I mean, you have a little roughage in your diet. Yeah, it's less raw sewage, more rotting meat and spoiled milk,
Okay. So
which sticks with you.
I'm gonna kind of look over at Eno. I'm gonna see that like he seems to have it handled, and then so I'm gonna kind of, I'll do like that head nod, like you okay? Kind of head nod towards Eno.
No.
No. do,
And
do-
like, sounds good. Bye.
yeah, I'm looking over at Eno like you okay? Kind of head nod thing. Like doing the thumbs up. You okay? Okay. And then I'll look at Thunuk and be like, "You okay? You good?
Mom.
I'm not sure he can see you. Because he's kind of engrossed in his familial drama.
If you don't see me, I'll either shout or I'll throw a rock at you,
Oh,
or both."
Shouting would be the
Hey,
free
hey,
action.
hey,
Rock would
listen,
be
Hey.
Hey, listen. All right, Navi, calm down.
he's basically like, no.
Okay, then I'll make my way over towards to where Thunuk is. Be like, because I got the connection with the mom and things.
Mhm.
So, what's going on?
Wait, is she talking to Thunuk or is she talking to the mom?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Okay. But I think they're all brainwashed or cursed or something. Or they have brain worms maybe, because their eyes are weird. And she's talking about treatment and doing things she wouldn't do normally.
Do you think you can convince them, or if not convince them, do you think you can wrangle them up?
I could probably do. I tried the first one. The first one didn't work. I can probably do the second
First one didn't work. How many would he need to grapple manhandle to?
Just his cousins didn't. He was able to free his cousins from whatever control, ostensibly whatever control they were under.
So it's
really
just
his-
mom. That's the
it's
issue.
It is just mom. Just dear old mom.
And so I'm gonna be like, you think you can take your mom?
I mean, she's my mom. I can try.
I want to see, because Hugon turned off his yeah
Y'all were noisy and I was trying to be stealthy.
yeah. Do I have any sense of where he was
Perception.
or
check.
is?
Perception.
Percepticon.
What's my Percepticon? Am I perceptive? I am not.
You're not good at it.
Well, I'm okay for now. I'm a 15 because I'm negative
You
1.
seem to recall him maybe going upstairs. It's about all because he was stealthing. So
Okay.
You're pretty sure, but you also have like that nagging feeling of like, did I really see him, or am I remembering another time that we were fighting giants?
But my best guess is he's upward from me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see him in the general plane.
Correct.
So,
Yeah, you haven't seen him since you walked in, essentially.
and then if I look up, do I see? Because I know the main entrance is behind me. Do
There
I?
are no
see-
chandeliers. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No chandeliers. But do I see like any kind of exit? Does it go like go up to the sky kind of thing, or
No, it does appear. It appears to be domed.
domed?
Like it's like silo shaped. It's cylindrical, and then
Okay.
dome.
Okay. But I'm sure I pissed off a lot of people making a hole in their floor. So
You killed 2 of them.
that too. I'm not so
Well,
concerned
to be
about
fair,
that.
she didn't kill them. They fell to
They
their own
fell.
deaths.
Okay, cool. Yeah, gravity killed the guy I pushed
They
off
could
the
have
building.
chosen not to have fallen.
I didn't kill anybody. Gravity.
They
killed
didn't have
that
to.
guy.
They didn't have to walk where I put a
They
hole.
didn't
kind
have
of in the
to
floor.
fall.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That'll real stand up in court.
Semantics. So then I'll look at Thunuk. I'll be like, okay, if you think you can handle your mom, and then wait, who's carrying the cousins off?
The
Mom.
mom.
The mom. Oh, so mom just has like all by the ear kind of thing. All right.
Mhm.
Except with like force tendrils.
Yeah. So then I mean, like, okay, you work on your mom. I need to do this thing because I made a hole over there. We need to at least get away from this area. So if you can get your mom off your cousins, then we can potentially get out of this area. Sound like a plan?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll try that.
Okay. So then, I'm gonna burn this slot and I'm gonna cast creation. And I'm going to make a 30-foot tall crystal ladder.
Okay. Well, first I'll ask you where the ladder is going.
I want to make it. I mean, it can't be like a straight shot up, so I'm gonna kind of like put it towards us, but then angle it up towards kind of where I saw Hugon possibly. But at the very least, it's a couple floors up away from chaos that may be ensuing on this floor.
I mean, keep in mind that a stone giant is 20 feet tall, so 30 feet is gonna be barely to the next floor.
That's okay. It's off of this floor.
Maybe.
Off of this floor, going to the second floor.
Going to the next floor, having to avoid any potential surrounding floor things.
Okay,
In
so
the
it's off.
stairs.
So you put it off by the side.
Yeah, I'm gonna put like up
So it's
towards
leaning
us,
up. So it's leaning up against the mezzanine.
Yeah, that way Eno can also, if he needs to escape, can also get up it. Because this will last for like 12 hours, so he'll have
Okay.
plenty of time until I decide to go like shatter by. Nah.
Okay, so you.
You said crystal, and I'm thinking glass for some reason. I'm like, that's a fragile ladder. No, it's
no.
mineral. It's a
Mineral.
mineral ladder.
Mineral.
It's not like a
went this-
wine glass. it's
No,
it's a
God,
mineral.
no. I'd look at
Okay.
Thunuk and be like, well, that's not gonna work.
I'm sorry. I was like, why are you making a glass ladder? No, it's a mineral.
All right, so that's
Yeah,
that's. So you've got this 30-foot high, 30-foot tall, crystal ladder that you've leaned up on the floor near the mezzanine.
It's very pretty and sparkly.
Very sparkly. Woo,
And
it's
sharp.
picking up. It's picking up some. It's the green light is refracting through it. It's very very nice. All very very
pretty.
tasteful. Very
Yes.
tasteful. Very peaceful.
Pinkies
Again,
up.
were you not in the middle of a weird kind of battle kind of thing? Maybe it would be a nice little kind of I'll hang out.
Yeah, the Giants seem awfully cool with everything that's gone on, so good on them.
Mhm. I mean, I imagine this is all happening relatively fast. So this is
Well, yes. Which brings us to Eno.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Has just signaled to Dren that everything's going to be fine. And what he's going to do is basically chain casts Vicious Mockery. Like he's just going to keep casting it. But so for this round, he's going to cast it. And he starts, he's got his lute out already and he starts singing.
Okay.
And the first thing he sings is, you made a big miscalculation with your heart made of stone. You want to control others because you feel so alone. And he's got to make a DC 16 wisdom saving throw.
DC 16 wisdom saving throw. He does not make that saving throw.
Cool. He's going to take 6 points of psychic damage.
Ooh. 6 points, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So that brings him down to that. Okay. All right. So is that your turn?
Yeah, so he's just going to keep singing this song on
Okay.
every turn.
And so you can see this the stone giant as you sing this song, that maybe there's like a momentary flash in his eyes of maybe he's right. But the flash just goes. And now it's his turn. And he is going to try to reach out and touch you.
Reach out and touch
All right.
me.
Can I throw some acrobatics in there?
Well, you need to
Avoid
make
this, or what is it?
Let's
Dex saving throw?
yeah, I guess this would be, well, he's going to try to just reach out and touch.
Boop.
So it's more like a hit, except he's not actually trying to hit you. So it's more of just like an AC type situation.
So it'd be minus dex from your AC. Oh wait, there is no touch AC in Fit,
What?
is there?
Mm-mm.
I'm thinking of 3.5.
No, he's basically, instead of like punching, it's gonna be the same as a punch. So it's more, this is like his melee attack on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
so
is it a spell?
no.
I'm just curious. All right.
No. This is just, he's trying to make physical contact with you. So this is just an AC. You know, he's gonna try.
My AC is 14.
Okay. He does not touch you.
All right.
The sequence of ineffectual continues. Just like I grapple while I roll a 1. I try to touch. I roll a 1.
And he says, "But I am not alone. I have all of my friends, my family." And as you guys are still involved in your little dance of wits and words, the two stone giants that were near him, obviously now hole in the floor, cracks everywhere, room is shaking. There's like this is not a good place to stay. But they both noticed Drenmai doing this thing, and so now they're starting to lumber over to the Gemweaver. And what is their movement? Their movement is 40 feet. Yeah, they're not quite close enough, but they're able to get about halfway of the distance, close half the distance between Dren and where they were. So Dren, yeah, but now you can see that there's these two giants that are starting to try. You can see that there's ill intent. There's ill intent in their face. Thunuk, it is your turn.
Okay. Now, Mom is trying to walk down a hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Wind wall. To block the entrance of the hallway.
Okay.
Wall of wind. I can shape it however I want. So it's going to be like so.
Mm-hmm.
So she's blocked in with this wind wall. She's basically imprisoned.
So you shaped it around her, or just plugging up the entrance of this?
Sort of plugging up the entrance, but like if she hits that wall of wind, she's going to be forced out of the entrance. And
okay, so
Yeah.
she just basically, and there's no saving throw. There's no, you know.
Well, the wall itself does involve a saving throw.
Should they try to pass through it?
Should they try to pass through it? And it's strength 16.
Okay. All right. 1, 10, 20. So she's not quite there yet, but you have successfully walled off with wind.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't pass a building inspection, but for now, that entrance is sealed off.
And then going to use the bonus action.
The bonus
of
action.
Yes, this is a bonus action. Of grasping vine.
Oh.
Where did you go, grasping vine? There we go. And going to try to immobilize her.
Oh. Interesting.
And she must succeed a Dex 16 save.
Dex 16. Okay. She does not.
Oh.
So what would the this is we've established this is all through prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Thunuk works his will. He works the will of the four.
Yes.
So what does the casting of this look like for him in both of these situations? We have the outline. Let's color it in.
Yeah, the wall of wind or wind wall is more of like, because he always has to grasp his holy symbol because he's praying, but it looks more like he's doing like he's slightly blowing, but also like a forceful stop with his hand. Like it's almost as if like you were trying to shape the air and make a wall.
Oh, we're doing like some air bending here.
It's like some air bending. It's like if you have air was clay and you were like, I'm just going to shape it, and it's a wall now. Or half air bending, half mimery.
Okay.
And as he's praying to the four, he's basically asking that the winds of seasons stop my enemies in their place.
Ooh.
And as he finishes that up, he begins praying for the grasping vine, and he asks the four, please hold her in place. She's going to get hurt. Please, thank you.
And as you do that, it almost starts off looking like the little tendrils that come off of pea pods, off of the vines, where they're kind of like curled and little, and you can see very, very quickly though it starts off with that, but then they rapidly start to thicken and plump as they move up and grow, and it looks almost like creeping vine ivy as it starts to wrap its way around her legs, and the little tendrils are working their way into her clothing to grasp a hold. If you've ever tried to get ivy off of a building that's been there for a while, it's very, very difficult. You think, oh, vine, I'm just gonna yank, and no. And that's what it very quickly grows into that, and you can see, and Mom doesn't look happy. Mom does not look happy with you in this moment.
I'm sorry. You can't do this.
You're being a butthole. Sorry.
You're gonna hurt people. You're gonna hurt yourself. I can't let you do it. Mm-mm.
Called me a beaverhead. Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that.
Okay.
And if you're in your right mind, you would not call me a beaverhead. You know that would be rude and hurtful.
You are in so much trouble, young man. So in this moment, there is a great shaking and quaking of the room. You can feel this shake is happening from deep within the stone that surrounds you. And I need, a couple things happen here. The first thing is the hole in the center of the room widens. And what was a 10-foot hole is now a 20-foot hole.
Yes.
As it starts to cave in.
Exponential increase. Woo!
As
Fuck!
it's caving in, because there's apparently you don't know what's holding it up down there. But I also
Or would it be geometric?
also need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save. Where's my saves?
The saving throws don't care about natural 20s, do they?
Yes, they do.
Yes,
Oh, well.
they do.
Look at that.
I mean, it's not an auto success, but a 20 is still a 20.
Did any so we have a 20. What else did people get?
14.
12.
It's technically an 18, but it's a natural.
That's
20.
fine.
Okay.
That's fine. It's an unnatural 20.
A-
Or a natural 20 that's now an 18. I got it. I got it.
a benighted 20.
A benighted 20. And we got that. And okay. And ooh. Ugh. So as all this and as this is happening, some of the stonework from above in the top of this room plummets. Plummets to the floor as the floor opens up a little bit more and it comes plummeting down. And you didn't really have a sense of scale for how tall the room was because there was nothing near it. But it's actually like taking a moment for this thing to fall. And bricks the size of, we'll say, varying in size from half a Volkswagen Beetle to an entire Volkswagen Beetle come crashing down from the ceiling. And you are all able to get out of the way.
How about with a 10? Because I didn't say what I got.
A 10 will get you out of the way.
Okay.
You're all able to dodge and move and get out of the way. But it is becoming clear that, there might have been some structural integrity issues. So, but we find ourselves with Hugon Valander. And Hugon, you make your way up this hallway. And it ends in these gossamer-looking blue curtains that seem to be waving in a breeze that you can't feel. Not waving like full-on like wavy, car lot sale guy, but like just it could just be because they're so light that just the gentle air movements is enough to move them around. But on the other side, you can find a room lit with looks like actual lanterns. You think you might hear a fire crackling inside. Very warmly lit, very different than all of the other spaces that you've seen so far. But a crock indicates to you that this appears to be the ritual space.
Okay, now here's the things that I want to know about this ritual space.
Okay.
Curtain, yes.
Curtain.
That's good to know.
It
the
is.
curtain is sectioning off part of this room from another part.
No, it's like so right at the entrance to the room. So you go up to the
Okay.
and there's the entrance where the hallway, and then it opens up into the room, and it's right at this entrance is where the gossamer curtains are hanging.
Gotcha. And am I seeing like the same sort of runic architecture?
You are.
On
You can
this
see.
arch?
You can see all like on the arch. You can see in the other room, and it looks like there's various prayer stations, almost, where you can see. It looks like there's like a large cylindrical. These large cylindrical obelisk type things. That you can see two or three of them unless you've walked in yet, you can see these two or three through the curtains there, and they have candles in various rates of having been burned. Some candles are still burning. Some of them are very low. Some of them are new wax all over the bottom. There have been many candles that have been burned here over the years, and on these obelisks you can see fine rune work that's spiraling down around the outside. And it looks like you've seen things in monasteries where it almost looks like prayer stations.
Okay. Hugon will go to Croc and say, all right, so this is the place. Are you familiar at all with it? Do you know anything about this room?
I've never been inside myself.
Okay.
I just know that's where he goes, and no one
So
else goes.
you don't know about any traps, anything like that?
Nothing.
Any guards?
He hasn't needed them. No one goes into the hallway except for him.
All right. What are these pillars? Do you know anything about that?
The giants used them as a means of storytelling.
So, would knocking them down do us any good? I mean,
Wouldn't
is it
hurt.
going to break? Is it going to break the spells? Is what I.
That I don't know, but
Okay.
it wouldn't hurt if you want to knock some things over.
Why
wouldn't hurt us.
Why don't you get started on that? Why don't you get started on the obelisks? And I am gonna go look for an altar, a book, something,
Right.
something holy,
Right.
and I'm gonna destroy it.
I like this plan.
I like it too.
Oh, we're gonna get along fine. And
Get to it.
he books into the room.
Well, that was easy.
And he hits for the first one, and he immediately starts pushing on this thing. And you can see, I mean, listen, this is a swole halfling.
This is a buffling.
Listen, he has never missed gains a clock. This thing,
he worships in the Iron Church.
If you're not unconvinced that he does not have angry sex with heavyweights on a regular basis, the way that it's gonna take him a minute though. This is big.
Sometimes you have to hoist. You really do.
This is a 20-foot tall obelisk, but you can see he is.
Well, if he's doing it from the bottom, he's kind of got the physics of it wrong. He should get up high.
He's a halfling.
I know.
But he is slowly starting to topple this thing over. You can see it's gonna take a minute for him to knock this thing over. But
importantly,
he's doing that whole, doing like the power lifter thing.
Importantly, nothing immediately bad happens to him.
Nothing immediately bad happens.
Okay, cool. Then Hugon will walk in behind him.
Okay. And as you walk in behind him, it's like as you pass through these gossamer curtains, the scene immediately changes in front of you.
Oh, good.
And the dimensions of the room appear to be the same. Though the walls seem to be more veiled in shadow than they were before. It seems as though the torches aren't burning quite as bright as they used to be. And as you walk in, you notice that the floor is tiled in alternating colors, in black, white, and it makes a square. And in the middle of this room, you see a table, a very simple table, one like you might find in a command tent in a forward operating war post. Nothing fancy, but you've seen this before when you've come in to have conversations with officers where they're not going to have necessarily an ornate table, but they need something that could.
They need a table,
and something that can survive travel on a cart.
So I guess my source of confusion here is like, from one side of the curtain, ritual space. From the other side of the curtain, have I been like teleported, or am I in this? Like, can I see the buffling?
Give me a wisdom check.
Okay. Oh, it's an 18 on the die, and I have a +3 wisdom. That's a 21.
You have an impression of the buffling in that you know that he had gone over there, and if you were to concentrate hard enough, you might be able to see him still. But it's almost like you're slightly out of phase with that.
I don't like this.
And at this table, there's 2 chairs. On this table is a chessboard.
Oh, God damn it.
And sitting in one of the chairs is a figure draped in red robes and armor over top of that,
Yep.
and you do recognize her. As the
It's
red
hard
lady.
to fail to recognize a god or an agent thereof.
And she says, "You have done well, Hugon."
Was that suggesting that I'm done?
No.
Good,
No.
because
This is only the opening gambit.
well,
You have passed
fair.
every test that I have laid before you.
Don't like this conversation. It's hitting me in the wrong spot right now. What's going on?
Have a seat. And she gestures, and the chair moves out a little bit and turns.
Are you how do I phrase this? Are you sure that I have time to have a seat? Are you sort of in charge of that right now? Because there's
Yes.
some important things happening. And
I am aware.
okay,
We have time.
good. Then Hugon will begrudgingly sit. He's not super happy about being interrupted because he thinks he knows what's going on here. So he like folds his hands and goes, "So I take it you have some instruction or proselytizing or
Well,
something you'd like to handle?"
I'm sure you have questions.
You're not wrong.
Well, it's your move.
Oh Jesus! And he looks to see how the board's set up. Is it like set up in like a? Is it set up in like how the Stone Giants would play?
No, it's like the normal
Okay, so it's a
lance
normal
board.
board.
Lance. I think in Faerun they call it lance board.
It's the lance board. Yeah.
Lance board.
He'll open with
Mhm.
Oh Jesus!
Well, you don't have to worry about. Don't worry about the. We don't have to worry about the details, huh?
Oh, okay.
People, but you can make your opening move,
Yeah, he'll open with a pawn.
and she looks at the board, and with a gesture, several of the pieces move on all sides, and she basically, and you can see no, and you see that it's like going through all the permutations.
Yeah, I know. I'm like that's cheating.
No.
I don't get to do that.
And she says, "Would you like to be able to do this? Would you like to see more of the hypotheticals?"
I don't know if that's something a human should be able to do. Consider that we are limited minds in comparison.
Too true.
Consider also that we have a tendency to be paralyzed by options. By seeing all permutations of a single move, I might not be able to make the move.
What if I could offer you to be something more?
Okay. What kind of more are we talking about? I've already, and he like taps the mask on his face.
Oh yes. You have done a fine job of being the mask bearer.
I
For
think
Delotha.
Delotha would agree, I think.
Oh, Delotha does agree. And as she says this, you see almost like ethereally stepping out of some of the shadows. You see other robed, bemasked figures
Mm-hmm.
step forward. And she says, "The mask bearers are very special. And I think it's time that you truly became one, but it has to be a freely given decision. One cannot be forced into this because with it comes great responsibility, especially they who carry the mask of Delotha."
Well,
And as you're like barely thinking about the next move, you see the piece move, and there's like more of this like permutations that are coming up. And the thing that gets you is at no point has she been wrong.
No, it's
with
true.
with the moves. You're like, I could do, and
I'm playing chess with a god who's good at chess.
the
This is a problem.
god of chess.
The god of chess. I win in one. God damn it! You keep doing that. No. I wouldn't be wearing the mask still if I didn't want it. It's never been something I didn't want. I met the most adorably stupid giant Ken the other day. If some people think that this is not a co-equal relationship,
It is not.
well, I mean, you get the idea. He's not here because he's in control. He's here because we agree that he is here, that I've allowed him to be here. You can't make a vessel. The vessel has to agree.
There is truth in this.
Now, you're discussing something else. You're discussing some form of what? Merging? Some form of ascension?
I don't think we're quite there yet, but you're on a good path. And I think I am in need of a reliable right hand on this
Well,
plane.
Delotha is not exactly one that I would call reliable. How do you call fire reliable?
I am not. Fire is a tool.
Okay, you get what I'm saying.
I am
Delotha is
not-
chaotic.
I am not offering Delotha to be my right hand. I am offering the wielder of Delotha to see more of the board. Allow me an example for you. And in the briefest of moments, you see an infinite number of boards
Oh, God.
all around you at similar tables. And you see an infinite number of Hugons playing this, but all in different stages of the game, and all in different stages of age and permutations of all of the different possible permutations.
The multiverse of Hugons.
There could be. It is. It's very much. There's an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where
I know what you're
Worf
talking
goes
about. Yep.
through the thing, and they start seeing all the Enterprises, and it's more and more and more and more. And I actually need you to make a Wisdom saving throw.
That's what I was waiting for. Oh, okay, that's not bad. 15.
15.
And Hugon is like, this is what I was talking about. This is the kind of...
You take 7 points of psychic damage.
Yeah. I was like, Hugon's like, okay, this is what I meant. And he's like, no.
But it's like in that moment, as you're processing that, like you're like on the floor, like almost hyperventilating, trying to catch your breath. Your heart is
Nosebleed.
beating. Yeah,
like, oh, jeez, the eyes bleed. Like,
and you've got a splitting headache now. And she says, I'm sorry to have inflicted that on you.
I told you that was going to happen.
I knew this would happen.
Thanks.
Imagine for a moment that I could give you not all of this, but a sip of it. A sip where you could not have to worry about dissolving what part of you makes you human.
Okay. You're bargaining with me.
I'm merely making an offer.
Which is a bargain. So, here is the thing. You're offering me something amazing, something mighty, something to take me above and beyond the capabilities of mortal men, essentially, in some way. What are you getting out of it, and what do you want? Let's be frank with each other. I deal with enough tricksy word talker people in the real world, and I don't relish it.
She says, "It is wise that you ask these questions. To enter into any bargain blindly never ends well, no matter how pure the intent. What I want is to execute the grandest battle strategy, which is to end battle. Imagine if you would, if you can, if we were able to arrange the pieces on the board in such a way as to create an endless stalemate that would prohibit future war. That would allow people just to live their lives without fear of the horrors that get inflicted upon them. That is the grandest strategy of all, and that is what I wish, that is what I aspire to attain to play the game better than anyone, living or dead, god or mortal, has ever played the game. A win so dominant as to cause people to cease playing the game and just allow everyone to lead their lives.
I don't have the mental capacity to counter that argument because you're looking at it from too many orders of magnitude above me. But I will tell you, from a much closer to the ground perspective, that what you are suggesting to me as a mortal is suggestive, not necessarily as a stalemate which invites a cessation of the game. It's a stalemate which invites the constant pursuit of victory, particularly for human beings. I mean, you know it better than anyone. We're creatures of conflict. We grow too rapidly. We expand aggressively. We have a pretty frustrating tendency to wage war for any and no reason. Competition for resources, competition for anything. And that's just one small race. Dwarves, elves, gnomes, halflings, orcs, the undead, all manner of these things. They don't look at the picture the same way as you. You see stalemate and say victory. They see stalemate and say, I can do better. I can win.
But that is part of
or I can make the enemy lose.
But that is all part of the strategy. I understand it's difficult. It's
Fair.
difficult to understand. I understand. But that is what you asked, what I get out of it. What I am looking for is an agent. Someone who has the ability to enact my will when I require them to. The rest of not a constant life of servitude. That is not what I seek, but merely the power that when the time comes, this agent would be able to enact my will and keep the pieces moving in the way that I need them to move.
And what are the other gods going to think of this? I know enough about cosmology to suggest you're not the only one.
Oh, no. There's
Tempus,
Pantheon.
for instance, is going to be pretty pissed off about this, I bet.
They can be. But that is not of my concern.
I It's concerned if he kicks down your door.
I
Which
already
you will
have,
do.
and I already have a plan for that. My child, I have a plan for everything. You saw, but a mere taste, a mere drop. What you were able to perceive was just a mere drop in the ocean of the stratagems that I have running at any given moment.
Brian, I would like to roll a. I don't know what this would be. Insight. I'd like to roll insight.
Insight.
This is sounding odd.
Okay. What is and so? Well, do an insight check and then and tell me what it is you're trying to discover.
What I'm trying to glean.
Glean.
This is unusual to me, as to Hugon, I should say, as a adherent to this faith, this sector of faith. There's not anything that he knows of, and granted, he's not a priest or member of the clergy, but this talk of winning and creating stalemates, this is unusual to him. This is not something he's ever seen. Like, part of, as in his knowledge, part of the core being of the Red Knight is the inaction of strategies, the sort of the high-mindedness of tactics and things like that. There's not really a play to win or lose. It's just her domain is strategy. So this whole talk of like, I'm going to end war is like, hang on, this is very strange. So what I'm trying to insight is, am I perhaps dealing with what are they called? A sort of a servitor of the Red Knight, somebody who might be
someone masquerading as the Red Knight.
Not necessarily masquerading, but like someone of her plainer like household, so to speak, trying to interfere and get something that they really want.
Okay.
Like in the guise of the Red Knight, so to speak.
I understand.
Oh, that's really good. Wow. I believe if that's a 20. Let me look real fast because I can't remember.
Because numbers?
Well, it's more because of I forgot if I had insight trained. For some reason, now that I'm an obviator, I'm always like, do I have insight trained? And it's never yes, but I have to look every time. No, I do not have insight trained. That's a 19.
Okay. You are not picking up on that this is someone masquerading or trying to subvert the Red Knight herself. You're relatively certain that she is sincere in her approach to in her words, in what she is attempting to do. But we're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to that because now it is Thunuk's mom's turn. And Thunuk, your mom is very disappointed in you, young man. Very disappointed indeed. And she releases your cousins and turns on you. And she's like more hunched over now, and there's a look of anger on her face that you have not seen before. Just, this is, mom's anger has gone to 11. You've seen mom angry before. There is that time you accidentally ruined the stew right before a big family dinner. After she told you, don't touch the stew.
Don't ruin it. And then you ruined it.
You went and touched the stew. Mom was angry. There is the time when you dropped one of your sisters out of a tree. And she told you, don't do that. And what did Thunuk do? Is gravity a thing? I don't know.
He did a drop.
Did a drop. Mom was angry. There was the time you lit her shoes on fire. Again, it was an accident. You didn't mean to. You didn't set out to do these awful things, but things happen. And Mom was upset because she loved those shoes. They were comfortable shoes. She had them broken in just the
She'd
right
gotten them
way.
on sale.
They were broken in. There was no blisters, no hot spots on them. They were her walking shoes. And she was mad. But this level of anger is beyond anything that you've seen her before. And she rushes toward you. And she attempts to grapple you. She attempts to yoke you up around the shirt and this area here.
She is bound.
Huh?
She is bound by the grasping vine.
Oh, that is true. She has to try to
So
escape.
she really wants to
So
do that.
there's a reach. Let's see if she's able to. What was the number that she needed to do?
16.
A 16. She takes the first step, and it's like you hear the tearing and ripping of the vines as she's able to take that first step forward. And then she's able to pull out the other foot, and it's ripping and tearing of the vines, and it's tearing some of the clothing away as the vines are trying to hold on to the best of their ability. And there's almost, if vines could apologize, Thunuk, they'd be apologizing to you right now. I'm sorry, Thunuk, I did my best. We're trying to hold on. She's just too strong. We're just vines, and she's much bigger than us. But because she has to do that, her movement is halved for this turn. So she starts marching towards you in a very, very purposeful way.
Think she's going to try going through that wall of wind?
No, towards you.
Yeah, she's encircled by the wall of wind also.
Well, you
I
said the wall
blocked
of
off-
wind.
He airbended it.
I blocked off the entryway
Ah.
because I can shape it. I blocked it off, and I basically made it so that she tried to go in any other direction.
I misunderstood. So she said, and what was the strength to get through that?
Yeah, I don't know if that's how that
That
one
was
works.
another
Hold on.
16, I think.
Give me a second. That's a strength 16. The other one was a dex 16.
Okay, so this is a strength 16. She hits that wall and is trying to force her way through, and she's doing the smooth criminal thing where it's the deep lean as she's trying to trudge her way through, but right now she is not able to get away.
She takes damage for that.
Oh, what is the damage that she takes on that?
3d8.
3d8, huh? Okay. Let's see some damage.
Wow. Okay, sorry, Mom. 14.
Holy shit, man. Damn.
Here we go. Okay.
You've killed your mom. Congrats. She's dead.
I Batman myself.
And
No,
so
hey,
she's
Damn
trying
it!
to get through this wall of wind. And as she's doing so, it's like bits of flesh are flaking off
Ooh.
here and there as the wind is buffeting her. And it's
Uh,
kind of starting to flake off and blow, and it's getting thrown around in this tempest of a wall. It's almost like it's now in the blender of the wall, as she's trying to push her way through. Drenmai.
Oui.
Oui, monsieur? Oui, madame?
Let's see. So it looks like Thunuk's basically got his mom handled. I'm going to take
Also-
my. Huh?
might be killing his mom, it seems.
Well, don't. Yeah, I'll look at and be like, I should handle your mom, not kill her. What happened to the cousins? Are they just chilling right now?
They're in this same area as mom, right? That's how you trapped all of them together?
No, she's on her own.
Oh, so they're outside of the wall,
Yeah.
this wall of wind. They are she dropped them, so they collapsed in heaps, and they're looking like they just Like that day when you decide to go back to the gym for the first time in a year and you go to a trainer, like, hey, I'll go to a trainer because this is going to work out well for me. I'm going to get, nice and fit. And after the first day, your thighs and hamstrings and calves and every muscle in your body starts to cramp and you have to basically not move. That's them right now. They're not feeling too good. They're not dead. They might
Yeah, I don't care about their physical being so much. So I just start like shoving them like towards the ladder.
Go.
Like
Go.
They're trying.
Just go. It may not be. I mean, I'm a strong little shit, so I can just kind of like, I'll punch him in the calves or something. But I'm moving.
Which for them might just be like a massage.
Yeah. I'm just moving them towards and up the ladder. Like,
okay.
Go.
So you're hurting them.
Possibly.
Okay. Not hurting them, hurting them.
Oh, hurting them. Yes.
Yeah. You're not hurting them. Hurting them.
I mean, I could, like do the hand thing and do like shocking grasp type thing, bzz, bzz, like cattle prodding, but
that
no.
might kill them.
No, shocking grasp only like what, D4? Oh, it's 2D8. Never mind.
Glad you checked first. No, it'll be fine. Oh wait, no, that's the powerful one. Shit.
And that's a cantrip. Oh well. Just lightly do it, like a finger, not full on palms.
Is there an action you would like to take this turn?
I'm trying to.
As you're in this room that's shaking and quaking, and you can hear the rumble.
That's why I'm trying to get them up and away from the floor, just in case it starts going. So at least we're on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want Thunuk to accidentally kill his mom.
That would be preferable.
What an unusually humanistic thing to say.
I know.
I'm gonna make it easy on you. I technically couldn't have done the grasping vine and the wall of wind at the same time. My bad.
Well, that's fine. You casted
both
the vine.
They're both concentration.
So then the wall would have dropped.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Well, we could say this, that you used the grasping vine to get her in place and then quickly dropped it to put the wall of wind up to keep her in place.
Well, no, I probably would prefer to have the...
I don't care what you would prefer.
It sounds like the DM spoken.
Yeah, I don't think we can go back and retcon all of that. I will allow that that the grasping vines were dropped as the wall of wind came up, and now she's trapped. She's not looking dead. I'll tell you that she's not looking dead if that makes you feel a little bit better about shaving
Is
off.
she looking undead?
I mean, no, she's not unalive. She's just there's like little bits of kind of like flaking off, revealing skin's freshest layer, which is
known as bone,
which is a little pinker than usual. Anyway,
then
the DM has spoken.
Okay, then I will look over at Thunuk and I'll tell him to stop his dogs, and I will say, on the count of 3, drop your wind wall.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna get as close. Let's see. Do I have to be? No, I don't have to be. I can stay where I am. So I'm gonna stay where I am and then be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna have him drop the wind wall, and then Mom has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. And what is the target that Mom is trying to make here?
He needs to make 14.
She makes it.
Damn. Okay.
Thanks, Norse Foundry Dice. What was the attempt here? What was the?
I was gonna polymorph her into a squirrel.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Then, okay, since it doesn't even do anything, can I do anything to
with the bonus action?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. Do I have a bonus action to... So, Okay, then here's my bonus action. Can I try with my little self do maybe like either like a persuasion on her?
Okay.
Tell her I want to do like Drenmai's biggest mom voice to try and like connect to mom.
Okay.
Be like, you get your shit together and be good to your son. And then we'll just see if I can get past that.
Okay. So what is give me
I'm trying to persuade her.
do a persuasion.
23. I've got good persuasion.
And she looks at you after she felt this spell that you tried to cast on her, and she
right.
the head whips around and just locks onto you, Drenmai.
Okay, at least got her focus.
And she says, "Oh, very well, dearie. We can do that for you."
Oh, that's not creepy.
And she like takes her hands and like digs them into the top of her head and peels the skin like she's shedding like a layer. If you've seen like those Green Man suits where they wear like you know, it's just, but she sheds it like a cloak. It just comes down the middle and there's a tearing noise like fabric tearing right down the middle. And in front of you, as this heap of like this skin coat is lying around her on the floor, is this like purplish skinned creature with beady yellow eyes and slicked like mud caked hair and like a torn red just rancid dress, spindly and long and clawed fingers and just teeth. Teeth are all over the place on this one.
I'm gonna look at Thunuk and be like, "That's your mom?"
I don't. Maybe it was my mom.
Things that are okay, not that.
Mom, do you have things to share about things? Or am I half not Furbolg?
Oh, dearie, it's just so
Parentage
fun
questions.
You don't understand.
Am I adopted?
And we're going to find out the answers to all these questions when we get back from our break.
Okay.
So, everybody stay tuned. We are going to take a break, and then we'll figure out what's going to keep on happening here, because we're going to come up with...
adopted?
Is Thunuk adopted? Is he half something else? What's Eno going to do next? Because that's what we are going to find out, actually, is what Eno is going to do next, because it's his turn coming up. So we'll be right back after this break. Stay tuned.
up all of them.
I don't think we want the ASMR of
Don't.
Clues munching on Cheez-Its. I think that might. Yeah.
I mean, like, I like Clues an awful lot, but that's like escalating into I don't like you anymore.
That's a really specific type of ASMR too. I mean, listen, I'm all about it, but that's a. So we're gonna play Dungeons and Dragons instead, and maybe next time we'll have the stream of cheese because let's face it, you can't lose with the stream of cheese. Although I feel like that has to be when we're all in the same room together eating cheese. I think that would.
Unplugged. Next unplugged.
Next unplugged cheese. Yvonne and I know a guy.
We could totally bring all of our various cheeses from where we live.
There's
All right,
not
I
table
enough
literally have a
cheeses.
Table
place
talk.
near here.
Table talk.
The
Stream of cheese.
cheesemonger.
Stream of cheese. Anyway, so we were playing Dungeons and Dragons, and
We were?
when we left
Are
off,
we live? Oh no! Oh.
We're alive talking about cheese.
yeah, we were talking about cheese and Cheez-Its. It's fine.
Nom, 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 nom,
Just
nom,
listen, this is the content that people crave, and the reason why we have, a fan. So two fans. We have two fans. We have fans, plural. But okay, we were playing Dungeons and Dragons, and before we went on break, things happened. Hugon is currently in some kind of
Alternate time warp thing,
Yeah,
having
out
a
of
conversation
phase
with
thing.
God.
having a are you there, God? It's me, Hugon. And having that conversation, having some kind of discourse with the Red Knight. Dren tried to rescue people, but also tried to not have
It's like not trying to when you're trying to clean your room but not clean your room. You're doing it in like the least.
enough to just
It's
get
just enough. You're shoving shit in the closet more
Yeah.
than you're actually putting stuff away.
And that's kind of where we are. But the result of this action, of this villainous action of not actually cleaning the room, Thunuk's mom shed her freshest layer and revealed her skin's truest freshest layer, which is that of a not a pleasant creature. And as she had pulled the skin off, and it's just like it's like a pile of clothes. Like if she had just taken like a jacket or a cloak and just dumped it on the floor around her, that's kind of what it's like around her right now. And there's a musty smell. It's of laundry that's been left in a washer for too long on a hot summer's day, and it gets that mildewy, damp smell. And that's kind of what you're picking up on with all of this, as she had done this thing. But that's not what's important right now. What's important right now is that there is a tiefling bard named Eno, whose turn it is right now, who is engaged in combat with.
Well, we are an initiative.
This is true, and damage is being dealt, but this is like on like an astral plane level. This is a different level combat, but that's whose turn we're at right now. So Eno,
So
tell me about what you would like to do.
Yeah.
right here.
So he just the last thing he'd said was, "Well, I've got friends," and so Eno comes back with, "You may think these are your friends, but they're simply afraid. They pretend because they perceive you as powerful, but you're really just a fool." And he's got to make another Wisdom 16 DC
Oh my god!
saving throw.
One day we need to take all the songs and just release like the Eno album. What was the number he needed to hit?
16.
Wisdom?
Yes.
Niet.
He doesn't make it. All
Niet.
right. I get to roll damage again.
Niet.
All ones.
Don't jinx me. It's 1-1 and 1-2, so that's 3.
Sorry, I shouldn't be happy about that. It makes me laugh when I'm right.
That's three more points of damage.
So 3 points of damage.
Yeah, total.
All right. Well, listen. You can't always. The hits keep on coming, but
at least it wasn't another 0. So.
It can't, this is true. This is true.
And I mean, I can keep this up for like another 5 rounds probably. So,
Oh, you know what? Oh, no, we already did that. Never mind. Yes. So now it is his turn.
Okay.
And maybe his resolve is starting to crack. You're not sure. Your words are obviously getting to him because words can hurt. And you think these words are hurting him. Psychically, not physically. But he once again is going to try to reach out and touch Eno.
Okay. AC 14.
That is a bwomp. No, it's not. It's not a bwomp. That is an 8. Well,
I mean, on its side, it's infinity, I guess.
well,
so...
well, here's the thing. It's right next to the bwomp, and the 8, as beautifully rendered as it is on this dice, kind of looks like a rune, and I got confused for a second. But it is, in fact, an 8. He does not... No, I'm sorry. It is a 12. No. He has a +6, so 8 + 6 is 14.
14.
All right, fine.
All right. You need to make a...
Your dice are hard to read, man.
It is, and I can't do math.
This is a roller coaster.
It is. Whew, but I need you to make a
What are we doing?
Constitution...
It's a 20. Oh, shit. It's an 8. Oh, wait.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Emotionally, this is very taxing.
That is a 17.
Sir. Healthy boy.
It's enough. It's enough. And he grasps you ever so gently. And you feel as though you feel very stiff for a moment. For the briefest of moments, you feel like, again, going to that gym feeling, I guess, where it's just like the muscles, you just feel them all you almost feel like this, like it's when you first wake up in the morning and you're just stiff and you can't move and it's just, but you're able to kind of, get everything moving again. For the briefest of moments, though, you did feel as if you were almost starting to calcify and accrete into something less mobile. But being the hardy lad that you are, you're able to shrug that off because, you're dropping these hot tracks and you can't be stopped.
Yeah.
You can't be stopped. So, but Drenmai, there are 2 stone giants now upon you.
Woohoo!
Up in your business.
All up in my face.
Your business. And these are not happy boys. These are not happy boys. They have ill intent.
Okay.
And they are going to make some attacks on you with these giant clubs, which might have at one point just been a stalagmite or perhaps a stalactite. Difficult to say. But in either case, they're going to now come rumbling, just come smashing in. So the first one makes his attack. And, oh, geez. Does a 26 hit?
Yeah, right.
The second one misses. And then now the second giant's going to attack. That misses. What's your AC?
If I can have my movement to freaking put my shield in front of me, it'd be 17.
17. Okay, you're... but that hits. So you get 2... Between the 2 of them, you're doing your little... Because you are very small. They're very big. And sometimes it's hard for big things to hit small things. So they're able to hit you. You're able to get clubbed twice as they're moving around. So we need
40 damage! No, I'm kidding.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm kidding.
I can take it.
40 damage each! No.
I can take it.
No, fuck you, you die!
You take 38 bludgeoning damage.
Holy fuck,
Okay.
I was kidding!
I'm okay.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm still okay! I'm still okay!
And they're just coming after you now. They're Listen. You ruined their house.
Hmm.
You've done things to the house.
They're not gonna like what I do back.
Oh, this party's just. This is like you're like. They had a party. And like a friend invited a friend, and that friend is like the destructive one who's just like, party, or fuck this place, and just breaks your mom's nice vase.
It's like Andrew WK up in this series.
Exactly.
But that is what those two stone giants do to you. But as they're doing this, you can hear coming from these other hallways here. I'm going to switch this back over to the map. You're hearing the over the normal shaking of the room already from you having created a possibly structurally unsound place. You can hear additional thundering footsteps echoing down these hallways. But that's not what's important right now. What's important is it is Thunuk's turn.
Can you describe the thing that was my mother again?
Do you really want me to go through all that again?
Well, not just
all right.
But no,
so she had peeled. No, not that part. Oh, so we're past after body horror. Just what's left over.
What is it? What? Okay. Yeah.
Medium sized. Purplish skin, dark, deep purple. Dark purple skin, beady yellow eyes, buried deep, like there's like the deep eye sockets, like a heavy brow, black hair that's just matted with mud and filth, and you're not sure you want to know what else. You can see there's like two horns, not in a Fearbolg way, but these kind of like almost prehistoric looking horns. It almost look like they're made of stone. The mouth is just twisted up in this cruel smile with yellowed and blackened teeth pointing in every which direction. Looks like they might have been sharpened at one point. And she's gangly and hunched, and the knuckles and the joints are too big for the rest of it. The skin is pulled taut, and just this rancid red dress that's like in tatters all around her. And she's there cackling at you.
You're not really my mom, are you?
Oh, look, he's figured it out. I'm so glad. Not the brightest torch on the wall, is he? Slow, this one is. Handsome, though. I bet you'd be good for a romp.
I need an adult. No. You're not a nice person. You're pretending to be my mom. I don't like you. And I don't want you anywhere near me. You're weird and gross. And I pray to the four to protect me and guide me. And,
I pray to the four that you die.
And
because you suck.
To send help and spirit guardians kicks in.
Oh.
Your blender guardians.
Yeah. And basically they're just going to be like a wall surrounding me at all times, keeping this thing away from me.
Okay. How big is the wall again? Remind me of the radius of
I was just looking that up because I couldn't remember.
Yes.
Distance of 15 feet. So basically a sphere of 15 feet around me.
Okay. And is it that as soon as you cast it and then when they start their round and they start their turn, or is it right away, or is it only when their turn starts that they take the damage?
Their speed is halved, and if they start their turn in enters the area, or they start their turn in it, they must make a wisdom saving throw.
So they don't take the saving throw right now. There's no damage done right now.
There's no. It is not.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so oh look, he knows a shiny. This is going to be fun. And
Bonus action.
Yeah, bonus action. Where did mass healing word go? Yes, I'm gonna mass healing word myself and my cousins.
okay. Okay. And what does let's get you guys some health back in here because none of the Fearbolg in this room are looking great right now.
Oh wait, no, I can't do that. I used up all my 3rd level slots.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you're being a bonus or no, Spirit Guardians is a cantrip, right?
No, Spirit Guardians is I cast that at level 3. That was my last level 3.
Wait, is Mass Healing Word a cantrip or a bonus
Mass
action?
Healing Word is a bonus action.
Oh, but at level 3.
Level 3 spell.
Ah.
And I could cast it at level 4, but I don't think I want to do that. It's so hard. I mean, actually, I'm gonna cast just Healing Word on myself.
Okay.
At level 4, so
Okay.
that's 4d4 plus 4.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I'm also at 10, so
Listen, anything is better than nothing at this point.
7, 8, 9 plus 4, 13. I get 13 points of health.
Oh, all right then. Excellent. So
yeah.
As you're doing this, and these stone giants have moved over towards you, there are these grasping pincher type things that emerge from the murkiness of this hole that Dren created.
Oh, this is now even
and they
worse.
Reach up and grab at the stone giants who need to make... Okay. Oh, no. And they reach up, and one is able to, as it comes up, is able to like kick away and whatever was trying to grab at its ankle. But the other one was able to like get in there, and it's like whatever was around this pincher was like able to sink its way into the one stone giant's leg and starts dragging it down into the hole. And if you've ever heard a stone giant screaming, it is very, very loud. Help! But it just drags him right down into the hole. And the screams go from and they just stop. And we're at the top of the turn, which also means you hear another rumble. And the hole gets bigger in the middle of the room. The hole is now larger. And I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
16.
Okay.
18.
18.
12.
12.
I also have a 16.
You are all fine. But the other stone giant, how much does he take? He takes... Oh, shit. Do I have enough dice for this? I think I do. Is that a 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. All right. No, he's not looking good. Oof. Okay. But the one stone giant, as he's trying to kick away from whatever this thing was, he catches one of these huge Volkswagen-sized bricks that's falling from the ceiling. He just catches one like right on the shoulder, and he stumbles out of the way. But Hugon, it is your turn. And you find yourself still in discourse.
So
with the
still in
man.
discourse with
And we've
an agent of
determined
a
that
deity.
as to the best of your knowledge,
Best of my
this
knowledge, which is not pretty amazing. It's really kind of knowledge.
This is, in fact, the Red Knight sitting in front of you, who has made you an offer to become her right hand, an agent on the on this plane of existence, to help her achieve her tasks when you are called upon, in exchange for the ability, it sounds like, to parse out more possibilities, to maybe up your obviator abilities in some way, shape, or form, but to see more of the various multitudes of possibilities that exist.
Hugon picks up one of the pieces on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really matter which one, and is like rolling it in his hands. I'm not going to say no, but I need to think about this. This is we're talking way larger concepts and things than I'm prepared to deal with in this brief moment. I'm interested, but I really need to have a sit down and suss things out.
And she says, I can see this being... I can understand why you would be reticent to accept that. In fact, I might be actually worried that I had miscalculated had you jumped on it too quickly. It's quite the mantle and burden of power that has been offered you. And some mortals would have jumped at this without even thinking about it. But power for the sake of power is not always the answer. Sometimes too aggressive of a strategy is not the correct one. But one cannot be passive either. So I must let you know that this will be a limited time opportunity.
It's reasonable.
I am timeless, but you are not.
Yes, also true.
So, what if I gave you... What if it was a trial? What if you could try the power? Try what I'm offering you so you could understand. Because unless you've having the ability to understand, it can be difficult for you to reach an informed decision. If you have never held a sword, how can you choose which sword is the appropriate one? To use an analogy.
I mean, that's not unreasonable. I think that would probably be the smartest choice. It's the one that's certainly the most beneficial to me now with the least amount of risk. And, you know, I have no doubt that I'm going to be engaged in some strenuous physical activity very shortly.
Oh, most assuredly.
So,
and I will tell you that should you choose to accept this at any time, you merely need to speak the words. There's no need for us to have a formal meeting like this. But for the most part, I just need you to continue doing what you've been doing as the bearer of Delotha. Allow me to sweeten the pot.
Okay.
Or rather,
tell me what you're thinking.
Let me show you. I think would be better. Allow me. And she waves her hand over the board, and the board transforms into a sand board. And you recognize the sandboard from before, where you had your meeting with her before you were the receiver of Delutha. And on this, she waves her hand and she says, I know you pretend to not care about the people around you. I see into your heart. And
I want to take another look there.
perhaps it is not I who needs to take another look there.
Maybe.
And I understand the gambit. If you have no one close to you, it is impossible for them to be used against you. Because people can be weaponized as much as any steel. But I do know you're concerned about the outcomes for other people. If you don't care about their well-being necessarily on the day-to-day, but you do care about their general... Otherwise, why would you do what you do? So allow me this. I will tell you that there are two potential fates that exist for people you know. And it is up to you to decide how you will... And the fate is not anything that I have put into motion. I will say this right now. It is nothing that I have put into motion, for there are other forces at work, as you know. The game is more than just me and the other...
All right. Let's...
And she waves her hand over the board again. And the sand piles up into figurines, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But one is of Lord Alyssa. And one is of Tadel Swift.
Damn it.
And she says, I will merely say, because the future is always in motion, that one may become a mask bearer, such as you.
I pretty much knew that was going to happen.
And the other may get drafted into a war. But not a war, of this plane. Both of them have a future that is in flux. And should you choose or not choose to do what you will, is up to you. But I feel like this is a situation where the information... This is how you can make your informed decision. You can decide how you are going to choose to use this information. Now, right now, it'd be next to impossible for your mind to comprehend and compute and determine the possibilities and permutations here. But I'm going to offer you a tool, and you will have 1 moon to determine whether you or not you would like to continue using this tool. If at the end you decide not, it is perfectly fine. It is all part of the game that we play. And if you do choose, then we shall deal with it then.
Brian, when you say 1 moon, are you talking about like a cycle, like a lunar cycle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. To make it sound fantastical.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you have until the next moon.
So tomorrow. Damn it!
And you have until the new moon. Wait, what's today? Tomorrow. And she waves her hand over the table again, and the sand parts, and up from this rises a gauntlet that would fit on your right hand.
Okay.
And she says, this is what I offer. You may try it on. If after the trial period you decide you do not want it, you may discard it, and it will be returned to me. If you do decide that you would like to have this power and become my right hand, become my agent on this plane, then you may keep it.
We'll give it a shot. We'll see.
And she doesn't even touch it. She just like gestures, and it floats up in the air, and it floats over to you.
He sighs like, oh, this is a bad idea, and puts his right hand into it and says, "Here we go."
And in that moment that you put the glove on, you die.
When you
No,
say
just-
Well, I mean, shit has happened.
And you're
Worse
dead.
shit has happened.
Gauntlet.
When you say gauntlet, are we talking like
Armor.
a leather gauntlet or like
so
an
this
iron?
this is it's very very heavy leather, much like a welding glove, but without it having the bulk that would prevent you from properly using a weapon. And somehow metal plating is attached all over the outside of this so that it acts as an armored gauntlet.
Okay.
But as you put it on, it has a warmth. It has an inner warmth to it. And do another, we'll say a wisdom saving throw as it goes on.
19.
19. This time, as you start taking in all of the information around you, and you start seeing all the permutations, and you're basically Sherlocking the environment around you.
Mm-hmm.
And this time, you're able to parse out much more of what you want to do, and you don't feel, while there's still a throbbing and a pressure in your mind, in your skull, from just it feels like your blood pressure has gone up. It's not debilitating like it was the first time.
Mm-hmm.
This is like you might actually be able to funnel this, and you think you might be able to use this, and it feels as though it's humming with some kind of its own internal arcane power. That you not quite sure how it would channel just yet, but you feel like there's some possible melee application to
Interesting.
this gauntlet.
Interesting.
And as you put it on, there's like a great flash. It's almost as if when you see film burn away from the lens because it's stopped moving. It's almost like that, and the world snaps back into view around you. Everything's in focus. Everything kind of speeds back up to full speed. Croc is in the process of knocking over a third pillar. He's already gotten two, and as they've fallen,
he's doing work.
He's doing the work, and he's like, "Why are you just standing there?"
God stuff. Okay, I don't want to get into it.
Right, let's move on, and then we're gonna fast forward now to back down into the main chamber.
Oh, are we not? I had an altar to blow up.
Oh, we can blow up an altar.
I'm going to ruin this room.
Okay. Well, before you can see now that there is, in fact, an altar.
Okay.
Candles, various trinkets, things hanging around it.
Okay.
Personal space there, made of stone, as would be appropriate.
And there any like books or pamphlets or tracts?
Have you heard about our cult lately? Yeah.
I have some trucks to bust out.
There's some little comic books there about how there's this
Nice.
role-playing game that'll lead you to
Yeah.
witchcraft.
Mhm.
Yes, all of these things.
Chick tracts.
Words. So yes, I mean, there's like you think there might be some writings there, on scroll work on this stone, and it's big. I mean, it's meant for a giant. It's built for a giant.
I proceed to wreck the living hell right out of it with
So-
whatever weapon that I pull out of my
You
gauntlet.
feel the need to punch it.
Punch it?
You feel with that gauntlet. You feel like with this, you really just maybe you just want to give it a good old.
Sure. Let's give it a bit of
give it a
good old
good
womp.
old. Let's do a good old. Give me an attack roll on that.
Let's do a womp.
A womp.
18.
18. So you
Pretty sure it's 18.
punch 18.
Falcon punch. No, sorry.
Um. So you're able to punch it, and you would think that punching stone would hurt, even wearing armor, but you feel it crack under your fist, and you see these red and orange lines spread in spiderweb out within this altar, and then it starts to hum and vibrate.
Okay.
You get the impression you shouldn't stick around for this thing.
you guys like that was fun. Let's go.
So you and Croc
Head back down to
Head
the
back down.
second level, I assume,
yes. So now
or
we're
third
back.
level, or whatever
Yes.
level we were on. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go back down. Yes, you're heading back down. You're heading back down your little ramp there. And are you running, walking? What's the?
I think it's a run time.
Okay.
Because I want to. I think we need to get back to the second level just to see down
Yes.
below us what exactly is going on.
As you're running down this curved hallway, it's it slopes downward. There is the sound of an explosion behind you, and you can, if you were to peek, you would see. Well, you're not going to peek because when there's an explosion, you never look back, right?
Mhm.
But if you were to look back, you would see like flames ripping and like flaming stone shrapnel flying across the room from this thing. So now we move back down into the main chamber here. Alexi's been kind of quiet for a moment, but he sees the stone giant who's now who's been going after Dren. And so he makes a move, and you can see that the arms have split open as his weird weaponry has deployed itself. And he tries to attack, and it looks kind of like an arcane bolt that leaps from his arm, but it goes wide because he's running and he's trying to shoot, and just it launches off and splashes harmlessly off of some of the rock on the other side of the room. It's now Thunuk's mom's turn.
We're still calling her that?
Well, until someone has a better name for her.
Okay. That's reasonable.
Thunuk's not mom. And she's got some feelings about you, and she's cackling away. She goes, "Oh, this is too much fun, but I."
How close is she to me?
Oh, that's right. She has to do a dexterity saving throw, correct?
Wisdom.
Wisdom saving throw. All right, hang on. Let's see here. Well remembered. We usually forget these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the number she needs to hit?
She
does not.
Okay, never mind.
She does not.
It was, for the record, it was 16.
16. It was not. So let us get some damage.
All right. That's 3d8.
An 8 of many dimensions.
16.
How many?
16 points.
16. Jesus. So that brings it down to that. Okay.
16. What's it's radiant. If that matters.
Does it?
No.
I don't know.
It's your
Let me
monster.
see. It's your
Wow.
monster, man.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. It's your monster. Figure it out.
If you figure it out on your own, man. It's not my job. You're a dungeon master.
Come on, dungeon your master.
Master your dungeon, man.
That.
Now she's that tickles me. Usually I have to pay for this kind of thing. And but you can see it shooting all through her and everything like that. But she
Tea is awful.
hang on a second, let me make sure I've got I gotta check my books here. Make sure
I
I'm doing
made the
right things here. That
Worst tea
is-
just now. God, that's bad.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
What happened?
I don't
Joe?
know what is wrong with it, but
What did you do?
it tastes like crappy scope.
Ugh.
Yeah, and it's
Uh.
like astringent as hell.
Oh, that's what I want. Okay.
Sounds gross. Super gross.
Yeah, I'm not pleased. It's gonna need at least 3 times as much honey.
Here we go. Okay.
Aha.
So Drenmai.
Mm-hmm.
She points a gnarled finger at you.
I flip her off.
Oh, why are you being so discourteous to such a kindly old lady? Why are you doing
Just got
that to me?
bashed in the head by those two assholes.
And a black beam shoots out of this gnarled, clawed finger of hers.
Okay.
And she's gonna try to hit you with this thing. And she does
Finger
not.
of death.
She does not. You're able to move out of the way as she.
I
as
do
this-
that thing,
as
like
it
flipping her
zooms-
off as I move.
Yes. But then as she does that, these little tiny darts of arcane energy fly out at you and at Thunuk. And they each do 1 point of damage to you.
Oh no.
Like,
Okay.
Okie dokie.
and it's like it's while it does hit you and it does this point of damage, it's as if it was done with a dirty wet sock. You feel unclean.
A lot of layers of gross going on today.
I've had a lot of time to think about this. But Drenmai. So, okay, Drenmai, let's have a conversation here because I'm having.
Mhm.
You're asking a question, and what's the question here in chat here? And I want to make sure I can answer it correctly. What is it you're trying to do?
Wait, me? I'm not
No,
asking a
I'm
question.
sorry, someone else. Wait, who's asking me questions? I can't follow because it's
Ross
reading.
is
Oh,
asking
God.
about
okay,
polymorph.
Roz, no, max is 6. You can't. We're at about 6 right now for the CR.
Okay, we'll get to that later then. Anyway, Drenmai, it's your turn. We'll figure this out later. There's too much happening.
Okay.
Only so much can fit in my brain all at once.
So I think my immediate issue is the 2 jerks that bashed me, right?
Well, only one now because one was drugged down into the the dark hole.
Okay. Would I be able to get behind Not Mom?
I believe because you're considered small, correct?
I am small.
I think as small you would be able to do that without provoking any kind of attack. Yeah, I think you'd be. Yeah, you're close enough. I would say that that's a reasonable thing.
Okay, so what I'm trying to do is because they've both made me mad in their respective ways.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get behind Not Mom and then kind of like line up with the other asshole that's still there.
The giant.
The one that bashed me, and I want to lightning bolt both of them because I have 100-foot line that I can work with.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm trying to like get behind, but like Not Mom actually,
Okay.
and then line it up with other asshole.
Okay. All right. Have at it.
I'm
Is-
hoping. Oof.
What's the is there a save?
It's
They
a reflex.
can try to save for half. What is it? Blah blah. Each creature line dex save.
Dex save. So what do they need to hit?
They need to hit 14.
14. No. And I'm gonna guess no. Well, maybe that's kind of no. Neither one of them makes their save.
Okay.
So let's let's talk damage.
Good. Because I'm gonna cast it at the 4th level, so I need to roll a shit ton of dice. So.
Oh my god.
I've been meaning to ask, when you cast something at a higher slot, does it increase the DC?
It
No.
no,
damage.
it doesn't.
So
it
it's a
just
static
increase-
DC. It's just damage that increases.
Yeah, I get to
Okay,
add
gotcha.
like instead of 96 that it normally is, I get to cast 10d6 against
Yeah,
them.
because like old school was like heightened spell. It actually increased by 1
Mhm.
everything. So the DC went up by 1, the caster level went up by 1, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, hold on. Math. 10d6.
It'll average about 35, 40.
My god.
42.
See?
Jesus Christ. So 42 points of damage.
I mean, you did just hit her for 38. It's not that impressive.
Yeah, it's 42. I don't know.
Is that it?
Well,
Is there more?
You say every time you say technically,
it lights any flammable object in the area that isn't being worn or carried. So if I accidentally hit curtains or something, shit's on fire.
Well, there are no curtains. It's a stone room, so if it doesn't light there.
It's up to you if there's any, because yeah.
So what is Dreadmai's casting of?
This is
lightning
I
look
got
like?
really, really, really pissed off, and I get behind Mom
Yeah.
I do a snack and get behind her.
snack.
I just see this materializing like Goku doing the instant transmission to Kamehameha.
But it's with the lantern, so
Yeah.
it's like the full motion of a Kamehameha type thing,
Mhm.
and then point the lantern, and then out of the crystal comes this just blast of beam lightning.
And it's just this loud, cracking, thunderous boom that echoes off the
100
walls.
feet long, 5 feet wide.
Oh, Jesus.
Goku, and I went.
it's-
I took off the headset and went, "Nani?"
Nani? Mind you, this is inside a cavern, so it's going to be bouncing off walls. It is loud.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. Oh, it does.
And when that
It's
happens, you feel the floor quaking some more.
I
And
love
you
it.
feel the room shaking more. I need everyone to make dexterity saving throws.
16. I'm
16?
doing okay today. I need to keep up this streak.
What was it?
16.
16?
23.
23? Yeah, you're fine.
I'm sorry. What sort of save is this?
Dex save.
Dex.
Oh, that did not go in the tray. Sorry. 8.
8.
Now I am on the second floor though.
Yes, we're gonna come to that. But as this happens, the floor opens up even more. And now you only have a very thin ring of stone. You're all able to quickly move out of the way of the collapsing floor and the falling stones and everything like that. Everyone's able to get out of the way so you don't fall into the hole. As a couple stone giants come running in from one of these hallways, you do see that they aren't paying attention. They go right onto the edge. The floor collapses underneath them, and they fall into the hole. There's not even like that time to yell. If you've ever seen people skydive, or if you've ever been skydiving, it's like impossible to yell because you fall so quickly that the breath is just taken out of you, and it's just whoop. And as you see down in this thing, there's this swirling mass of, you're not sure if it's cloud, if it's gaseous, if it's liquid, of green and black and brown and purple just swirling underneath.
I don't
And
like it.
you think you hear like a chittering noise.
I would like to roll to hate it.
Yeah. No, it's a free bonus action. You can just do it.
I successfully hate it.
I successfully hate it. But that's from the lightning bolt ricocheting but Not Mom is not looking good. She's smelling like a little bit like burnt toast.
Ew.
If you've ever burned
She
fish,
smells like an electrical fire.
if you've ever burned fish in the oven, it's you're kind of getting a
Is it okay? It almost sounds like microwave fish.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
God.
been in for too long.
Oh God.
But if you had the microwave fish in one of those TV dinners that also had the chocolate brownie, and both were in too long, and you just get a melding. And there's also the smell of the burning plastic as well.
Awful.
So,
Awful.
but there's a lot of not great happening right now.
So
Fortunately, the giant that got hit with this also, not feeling great. Not feeling great at all, but that's more of like a smoked beef smell coming off of him. It's a little bit better,
that's not better. That's awful.
It's not melted plastic, but it is Eno's turn.
So Eno is going to continue this oral assault. So he sings
TOS.
You lock souls inside a prison and say they're your guests, yet you can't see the schism and no one's impressed. And he has to make
Oh my
a
God.
DC 16 wisdom saving throw.
Bad for me, good for you. Well, actually, good for everyone because, story.
Yeah.
With that last verse of your song, you see his resolve completely crumble. And there's a moment of abject horror on his face. Well, roll damage for me real quick while we're doing this. We're gonna figure out the whole damage thing.
4, and he's also got disadvantage on his next attack roll. I kept forgetting to say that.
Okay. And he in this thunderous motion falls to his knees. And he says, "What have I done? Oh, by the gods, what? What have I done?" And as he's saying this, you could see like this green crack kind of open up across his chest. And it's like spilling green light out of it. So it's not like you're like opening up and you're seeing like, oh, beating heart. Nothing like that. It's like this green energy is trying to like, it's coming out and it just able to get out through the cracks that are appearing here. And he quickly like tries to cover himself up and he's going, "You must flee. Gather everyone and flee. You must do so immediately. There is no time. I will hold it as long as I can. Flee, little one. And thank you." And there's like a humming in here.
Do I see where my friends are right now?
You do. So you don't see Hugon just yet. But you do see everybody else.
All right, I run towards them.
Yeah.
I say, "We got to get out of here now."
And so Thunuk and Drenmai, you hear this.
Small question.
Yes. There are no small questions, only small people who ask them.
Did the cousins fall in the hole?
They did not.
Okay.
No, they're up. They were able to scramble up to that second floor.
What about the rest of the slaves?
They've all
Fallen in the hole?
No. You hadn't seen any of them fall in the hole. There weren't that many in the room. Most of them.
I was waiting for like a "you didn't save anyone."
You saved no one.
That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting on that.
I award you no points.
You get no
and
points.
May the gods have mercy upon your soul.
You're the worst adventurers ever. Okay, so that mainly the cousins. That was my main concern.
Yeah.
Okay.
And okay, so that's you have all of them. And the stone giant, the one who is left, the one that Drenmai just zapped very thoroughly, appears to not have changed, and he still has designs on Drenmai. And he decides he's going to go for a bonk.
Okay.
So he's going to lumber over, and he's going to not bonk, and he's going to not bonk. He's not feeling too good.
These guys roll like ass.
They do sometimes. These things happen. Um, yeah, he's not feeling too good at all. It might have something to do with the fact that he just took a bolt of lightning to the body. You know, however many was it? Like 3.6 gigawatts or something like that? Or
Mhm.
1.21.
1.21 gigawatts?
It's not gigawatts.
I-
That's not right. I'm just saying it's not right.
When you have your PhD in time travel, you can have an opinion on it.
I'll
Yeah,
have
yeah,
you
so
know,
he-
sir.
he stomps over and he goes for a bonk, and the bonk does not work. Thunuk, it is your turn.
Okay. Is it really Thunuk's turn?
It is
Wow.
Thunuk's turn.
He's gonna shout at not mom. Where's my mom? Where is my mom? Where's my actual mom? You're not my actual mom.
You're not my mom.
Where is she? What did you do with the rest of my family? Where are they?
Do a persuasion check. Let's see.
Hold on, I need to look up my persuasion. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Hold on. 21.
Oh, they're around here somewhere. I can't remember where I put them all, but I'm sure they're down. They're here somewhere. Safe-ish-ly? Maybe. Yes. She's alive. For now. You can try to kill me, or you can try to save her. You cannot do both.
Mm.
I can get them out for you.
That would be appreciated.
No, it
But-
wouldn't it?
You have to let them go. Also, you can't not this weird eye thing anymore. No, none of these treatments. Treatment's bad.
What will you give me in exchange?
Death?
I mean, you can leave.
I can do that anytime I want, dearie.
I'm gonna say no.
And I would say yes.
Okay. Just I think the four really want you to agree, and when he says agree, it's a command.
He's trying to command her?
Trixie Fairbolg.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think he's actually even knowingly doing it. I think like in my
Oh.
mind, he just really wants it. So it becomes he really wants it. When he really wants it that badly, it's a prayer.
It just comes out. Okay.
It just comes out.
So what is the ooh.
The command was agree.
No, but what's the what's the save on that?
Oh, 16 wisdom.
16. Wisdom saving throw 16. Jack die. And she says, "You know, I find your terms agreeable." And you're like, it looks like almost your entire Fearbolg clan appears in the room with you. But they're all standing precariously on the edge of the they're sitting on the edge of this pit that has been opening up in the room.
Oh,
And she says, "There you go. You can have your family. Ta-ta!" And she cannonballs into the pit.
with all the clampy giant eating
Yeah.
things.
And it's a full-on cannonball. Like, it's a hop, knees to the chest, you know, holding on, and boom, just cannonballs right into this massive something. But now all of your family is standing on the edge of this, but they are standing precariously to the on the edge of this place on the edge. Like, it's like they're, and like they weren't expecting to be there, so there's some that are like, you know, they're doing the whole whoa, whoa, you know, one of those things. The whole room is still shaking even more violently than before. And it is Hugon's turn, unless you had something else you needed to do this turn.
I can't even think of what else to do.
I don't even know. I didn't think that would work. And Hugon, so because you failed your dex save, you actually come rolling down the rest of this ramp onto
Onto the second level.
onto the mezzanine.
Okay.
You know, one of those. Yeah, yeah. And it's not graceful.
No, it's not.
It's
He's cursing a lot.
yeah.
There's a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of cursing.
There's a lot of adult language being used. Sailors would refer to it as nautical talk. And you keep tumbling up, and you get to the mezzanine, and you're greeted by this scene. The hole that was in the floor when you first left is now taking up the vast majority of the room. There is approximately 30 Fearbolg. There's a few halflings in there. There's some other, like, kind of, if it is sentient and could live in a forest, it's a
Mm-hmm. It's there.
It's a trail mix. It's a hodgepodge. It's a dealer's choice. It is a potluck of sentient beings, all standing, looking like they're about to fall into the edge of this pit. You see your teammates, where, you know, we've all established where they are, and then you see that large, skinny, emaciated-looking giant kneeling down in the southeast corner of this room, holding desperately onto himself, and it looks like he's breathing heavily. But you see, like, these rays of green energy kind of like shooting out at him, and it's like the cracks look like they're increasing on him, and he's trying more and more, and you hear this, and it sounds like the intensity is increasing, and it's in both in terms of the volume and also in and how often you're hearing it.
Okay.
And this,
well,
and there's the two Fearbolg, the three Fearbolg cousins up on the mezzanine with you, and that is where you find yourself.
So, okay, do I see the strange mass downstairs in the pit?
You do. You can see that there's this swirling green, black, brown mass of, you don't know what. Is it
Okay,
gas?
do I
Is it liquid?
see the not Thunuk's mom?
No, she's already cannonballed out.
Okay, but she's down there, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
Yeah,
she's not like.
She's not in the room anymore, as far as you can tell. She
Okay.
did her little.
So I can't see her in
Cannonball!
the mass, essentially.
No,
is
you
what I'm
cannot.
asking.
You cannot.
Hmm.
You can see nothing in this mass.
Hmm. Hmm.
Thinking, always thinking. Cream of the crop, it always
All right,
rises.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one thinking that.
I
What you gonna do?
What's he gonna do? I don't know.
I feel as if there is not much to be gained from going down there.
You guys are on
Largely
your own.
because, well, I mean, like they've got a ladder,
Mm-hmm.
and like they can come up here. But also, I'm the way I'm envisioning this room is that I can't access the side exit anymore.
So if you were to go directly the way that your rest of the party came in, I almost said friends, but that doesn't seem like the adequate descriptor for the people around you. But if you were, so you're in the kind of the northeast side of this map we have here. So if you were to go down, that main entrance is on the east side, and that's kind of where everyone is. So it is possible to still leave this place from that entrance. You would be hard pressed to try to get to the opposite side and leave through the way that you came in.
Okay. So the exit that is most viable for us is not blocked. It's just a matter of getting everybody.
This is true, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think Hugon will move to the exit then.
Okay. So down the ladder.
Yeah.
You can do the emergency thing where you just grab the sides and slide down.
Probably not, given that there's a strange mass in a very deep pit below me, and if I fall off the ladder by doing something cool, I'm gonna regret it. But yeah, get down the ladder and it's clearly time to leave. And he'll turn his radio back on.
Mm-hmm. So radio back on. Hugon, you see Hugon come tumbling out of this thing. Boom, down the ladder. Croc right behind him. Right on down. Boom. Thunuk's cousins start working their way down the ladder. Who are we at now? Dren, we are at you. There's still now you see giants starting to come pouring out from the tunnels on the other sides, but it's like either they're doing the thing where they're running up and coming to a skidding stop, because when last time they were in this room, there was not an enormous hole in the room. They were used to be able to run into a room that had floor. It had wall-to-wall floor. It no longer has wall-to-wall floor. So some of them are getting to the edge, but then someone will bump them from behind, and there's a couple that'll fall in. As they're crowding on, every now and again, one of these weird claws or a tentacle comes up and grabs it and drags one of these giants down into the pit. The screams are cut off disturbingly too quickly.
What would I consider to be the best method of getting everyone out quickly?
Are you asking me, or is this just Drenmai thinking out loud?
Do I think
Both.
there's anything... Yeah, both. Do I think there's anything other than the main entrance that we came in at?
Give me... Let's see. Let's do... Would this be perception? Would this be... No, it wouldn't be perception, because I would want to relate... want to relate this to your tinkering skills.
This is me being a gnome. I like being underground. Maybe I have some kind of thought process on how they structured this internal...
Give me an intelligence check. Let's just do a straight intelligence check on this one.
Am I smart?
Let's do a
Where's
smart.
my intelligence? Aha, I am smart. 15.
15. Given the damage that you've done and the cascading damage that you're seeing happen right now in this room, you do not think you would be able to get anybody out, even if there were a viable exit on any other side of this room. You do not think you would make it in time. You're pretty sure that by the time you got to any of these other hallways, the floor is going to be completely gone. And after that, who knows what happens.
So main entrance or bust.
Yeah, you're pretty sure main entrance is your... There's some calculations here. It's main entrance. That's...
Yeah. Do I see Hugon at this point?
You do. Yeah, he has made his way down to the first floor with you.
I'm on the walkie-com. Hey. Seeing if
He's
he has
within
back on yet.
shouting. You can you're within shouting distance at this point.
Oh, he's in shouting distance?
Yeah,
hey! Fucker.
What?
Get down here.
No, he's already down.
I am down here, you
down,
dumbass.
He's down on the
okay.
floor. Yeah, he's
Okay.
Which makes it even funnier.
Yeah.
No,
Where...
down here to my level.
My level.
Down on mine.
3 foot.
No,
not
jump in
6
the hole,
foot.
you piece of crap. That's what I meant.
Second question. I saw tentacles rising out of the abyss, right?
You did.
Do I recognize them?
What?
Is this a creature that I might have experienced in my 400
History
years?
check?
It's really good. I'm good on
I
history.
think whenever it's memory, I always
Oh.
think history.
It's
Not
Rob.
only-
It's Rob from accounting.
Not only did I womp,
It's Rob from accounting.
If you're identifying a creature, it's usually knowledge arcana or something like that.
Okay.
By the way,
then I womp.
I'm just saying if unless
If
it's
it's
like a
a
divine
history-
creature.
Okay, well, even if it's a history, it's a 28. If it's an arcana, it's a 28.
Oh my god.
So, natural 20 plus 8.
Give me a wisdom save.
Nice.
Save. 8. I'm not wise. I'm smart, not
Really
wise.
smart.
You
I know what that is. Oh, the
You look-
horror!
you see these things, you start going through the database, right? The Rolodex, the whatever, the card catalog that is Drenmai's mind. And you remember seeing something like this before. And you immediately regret remembering what this thing is because of where you saw it and what it was. And for the moment, you are reduced to a gibbering mess.
Okay.
Basically, it's like instantaneous babbling tears, abject fear seizes your soul. Because there is a reason why you chose not to remember this thing. And your only reaction is to move as far away from it as possible, as fast as your little legs will take you.
Okay, so what am I being frightened by?
This is of some kind of unspeakable horror that you saw one time when you were visiting Grandmama Gemweaver in Sigil. And she took you for a ride into the murky... What's the word I'm looking for? The murky, not abyss, but the murkiness, the
What, the Shadow Realms?
not in the Shadow Realms. It's it's what everything is sort of sitting in. And why can't I think of the ether?
Okay.
And she took you for a ride once in a ship through this ether. And at one point you accidentally went through a bubble of something.
A bubble of
And it
suck.
just felt cold and death and awfulness and terribleness. And it was something you saw there that is just absolutely unspeakable and undescribable, that left you laid up for weeks at Grandmama Gemweaver's house because she shouldn't have taken you there.
Okay. Then
You remember it
I'm-
being very, very big.
I'm probably immediately then going to be concerned because Thunuk and Eno, they're all on like my side, so they're closest to the exit, right? For the most part, they're
There
like
is.
on this side of the
But
hole.
at
And
this
then
point,
Yugon's on the other side.
no, everyone's on the same side here. Everyone's on this eastern side.
Okay.
But at this point, it is just you can't even bring words. There's a complete disconnect.
Okay. Then I won't be able to. Then I wouldn't be able to do anything.
No, the only thing you can do is move as far away from this thing as fast as your little legs will take you.
Yeah, I'll take my movement towards the main entrance then.
Pushing people in the pit as you go. You eat them instead. No,
Mhm.
I'm kidding.
I offer you as tribute. I offer you as tribute.
Sacrifice one. Sacrifice two.
So Drenmai just.
I'm going to. This is Sparta the shit out of everyone out of my way.
And this is like, yeah.
Kick.
And it's like, there was
Except
the
they're
dust
like-
cloud shaped like Dren where she used to be. And then Drenmai.
Nice little Tom and
Little kick.
Jerriness.
Pew,
Eno.
pew, pew.
So I see Dren near me.
Well, as she bolts past you for the
She's
for the
gone
door.
past me.
Oh, yeah.
Is
Unless you want to try one of your patented grapples.
Well, so I feel like she's probably gonna make it. Is I mean, who's left down there? It's Hugon, and is Thunuk still down
The
there?
rest of the party and this odd hodgepodge clan of
Okay.
Fearbolg and halflings. There might be a couple dwarves in there. It's tough to take stock. There's a lot of confusion happening right now.
All right. Because I can take one person up to the entrance.
Well, everyone right now is about within one turn's movement of the entrance.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, in that case, I will, because I can't do a whole lot with trying to. I mean, I can, like I say, I got Dimension Door. I can get one person with me to the entrance. But if we're all like within a turn from the entrance,
Yeah. Yeah, you judge it wouldn't be hard for everyone. Were they to start moving quickly, they would be able to get to the door and get out of the. Yeah.
All right. So what I do is, I mean, does Thunuk still look pretty bad as far as health wise go, or did you get some healing?
Hey, I gave him some healing, or he
Okay.
healed himself. But yeah, he's looked better, but he's also looked a lot worse.
All right. Well, I point to Thunuk and I say, "You're doing great," and I give him I give him a what is it? A 1d4 plus 4.
That's a healing word. Yeah.
Yeah, healing word.
You look great.
You're doing great, guy. And that's of course it's a 1, so it's a 5. You get 5 more points of healing.
Hey, it's 5 more than I had before.
Yeah. And then I just sort of try and encourage people. Let's go.
Move,
And
move.
yeah. And I'm trying to catch up to Drenmai.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hugon.
I will continue to beeline my way out of this place.
Okay.
And I guess murder any giants in my way.
There are no giants that are in your way at this point. They're all dealing with stuff on the other side of this pit. So you've got
Cool.
So okay, so you make your way out of here.
Getting the hell out of here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alexi is like right behind you. Croc is there. He's like trying to get his family moving as best as possible here. Drenmai is already out of here. Thunuk, it's your turn. Thunuk, you got to get yourself out of here.
Thunuk is actually just going to bring up the rear and help anyone who's having difficulty.
Okay. So as you're doing that, you're like helping like maybe one of the older ones. You know, you're trying like there's the fall and no, you got to like help them up, and you're trying to like help one of the old. So you're hobbling along. You got you're trying to help with the arm over the shoulder, and the room just starts collapsing as the floor finally gives way right behind you, and the room just starts collapsing in on itself. And so Drenmai, you've made it outside, and you're doing the whole, hyperventilating. And let's do a wisdom save on you real quick. Real quick.
Okay.
And see if you're able to shake off.
11.
11. You're starting to feel a little bit better. You're not like quite in the place where you can articulate what has happened yet, but you're not in that state of panic. And Hugon and Eno and Alexa, they all come piling out through the front doors, through the front gates of this, through the front gates of the front entrance to the giant's lair here, and you turn around, and as all the family comes out, and you're looking behind you, and you see Thunuk helping this older Fearbolg as they're he's trying to get up the hallway as quickly as possible, and there's a thunderous boom as it feels like the mountain is collapsing in on itself on the inside, and a huge cloud of dust comes billowing out and overtakes Thunuk, and he disappears into it. And that is where we will end this week's game.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will be back next week with more Team Max, and we will see does Thunuk survive?
No.
He's no ghost. But it would be the
Oh, ooh,
it'd be the
ghost
friend
Thunuk.
it'd be the biggest, friendliest ghost you've ever met.
Thunuk the friendly ghost.
Oh god.
I think he just anyway. That's a whole conversation. But we'll come back and talk about that kind of stuff in table talk, where we will talk about employees of note, favorite moments, things of that nature. We will deal with old business and new business, and go from there. So hey, we will be right back. Stay tuned. active game.
Active.
And we were actually just having a very interesting conversation. But we'll come back to that. That's new business. That's new business. Let's deal with old
And
business.
technically, that's not true. There is a CR rating 12 beast.
Oh, there's okay.
Just FYI.
But,
That was
Yes, it's called a Traxigore.
oh God. Try that again, Brian. Actually, have it fall into your dice tower.
Never
So you-
trust Reddit.
No, do not trust Reddit.
No.
We're going to
Wise,
start in
wise.
quadrant 3. Quadrant 3 is Roz.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Welcome back.
Play the game. Is that what we're doing?
Employees of note.
Plays a note.
Anything that you.
God, man, Thunuk's mother is fucking creeping me out, dude.
That please.
Yeah. So was that a hag or something?
Metagame, yes, it is
Okay.
in fact.
It's either an Annis, a night hag, or a green hag.
a night hag.
Night hags are fucking brutal. I remember I sicked 2 night hag sisters on a party one time. That was
It was the best day.
it went poorly for them. They won, but it went poorly.
Also,
Not
I
without-
appreciated the fact that that you try to do 2 concentration spells at once, because I did the exact same thing the very first day that I played this game with you guys. I was like, let me do this spell and this spell. Oh, they're all concentration spells.
Oh, fuck.
Oops.
Yeah. I didn't catch that until like way afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit happens.
It happens. It's listen. It's an imperfect world. But that's where we can only retcon it so far. Because then it's like, well, no, what I meant to do instead of falling and tripping over that thing was I meant to cast a spell. But we make do. We don't all have the encyclopedic knowledge of Matthew Mercer, who seems to know all the concentration spells off the top of his head. I don't know. It's uncanny.
That's a niche skill set.
Yeah, he's good at it. But anyway, moving on to one Gideon Reese.
The constant refrain of songs and verbal assaulting against this very strange thin man giant, that was really good.
Songs are always good.
The Thunuk mom was good. I enjoyed that.
Everyone, let's face it, everyone has enjoyed Thunuk's mom. I mean, no,
There was like a small part of me. I was like, "Oh, cool! Thunuk's mom's undead now. Cool. I'm gonna have to kill her." I was wrong. Fortunately.
That would have been reasonable.
Well, moving on to one, Yvonne.
Yeah.
I'm always delighted when Roz breaks out in song. Yeah, that brings me much joy. And I'm not sure if my mic was on, but I giggled when Hugon's basically was using Croc as a guinea pig. You go touch into those things and push him over and see
That's
what happens.
exactly what I was doing. I was not about to walk into an alcove of religious significance blind. Plus, I don't know who that is. I don't care.
I just realized that we actually didn't confirm if Thunuk's mom was one of the people that escaped. Just a bunch of people were there.
You're helping an elderly Fearbog woman.
Yeah.
It could be like an aunt, so it might not even be your mom.
Might not be.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah.
That's kind of frown worthy, isn't it?
A little bit.
Moving on to clues.
I think mine is going to be with Hugon and, God talk, basically. I very much like the idea of him being like surrounded by every possible version of himself. Just for kind of that like what the fuck factor.
Like, oh look,
there's some like bunny version of Hugon out there.
Yeah,
Oh my
there's
God,
some
yes.
version of Hugon. There's some version of Hugon that it's just like it's a pile of trash.
Yeah.
That's,
yeah.
It's a sentient pile of trash.
Yeah.
All possibilities exist.
I'm mentally amused by Hugon being like this super
There's a potted
fluffy.
plant.
I had never
Yeah.
thought about exploring it that way, but I think we might have to
Mhm.
now. Because now I'm having the visual of, if anyone's ever watched The Flash, they have the Council of Wells. And it's, what's the actor's name? Shoot. I forget. He was on, I can't remember the actor's name right now, but he plays all these different versions of himself, and they just go totally over the top with, in one he's a cyborg, in one he's like a French poet, in another one he's like Hugh Hefner, in another one he's Steve Jobs, and it's very well, it's funny. It's just a chance for him to be ridiculous, because it's
Can't
the
be every
multiverse.
character. Oh,
It's the
God,
multiverse,
fine.
so they just have all the different versions
Exactly.
of
I like the Hugon
Tom-
multiverse idea.
oh shoot, what's his name? Anyway,
One Hugon is plenty.
yeah.
A multiverse of Hugons.
But I do like the
is a
idea of like
Because
the
then there
Usabi
would be
Yojimbo
Hugon
version
that
of-
was
of
like
Hugon.
Dren.
Usagi
no.
Yojimbo.
There's a Hugon version that is like that likes Drin somewhere.
Exactly.
Or maybe that's the only constant is that they all dislike Drin.
That would be like the one that's across
the
all.
one common denominator.
math-
across-
Mathematicians.
And the one Hugon that all the Hugons don't like is the one that likes Dren.
Yeah.
The
Oh my God.
mathematicians across the multiverse use this as their
Mhm.
one universal constant that bases all of their equations from there.
Dislike of Dren
And if at any
across
point-
the Hugon verse.
Any more than that one Hugon likes Dren, math stops working.
breaks down.
Can we turn this into a Highlander scenario
No, please, for the
Hugon
love
has
of
to
Christ,
go
no.
and kill all of the versions of himself?
I
to
don't
gain
know.
power?
I don't-
Is,
Listen,
is this
that's
the
like
one
Highlander and
with Jet Li?
Yeah, like with Jet Li and
Yeah.
what was the name of that
one,
film?
The
The
one
One.
with Jet Li, where he
The
has to
One.
go, where a criminal version of himself is going across the multiverse, killing him.
Yeah.
And
It's
just getting
every
stronger
time
and
he got
stronger and
stronger.
stronger.
Yeah, he got strong. But yeah, it's like the other one got stronger too. It was like, yeah, it was actually
There can be only one
There can
not
be.
Thunuk, one.
Wannock.
What?
Not a Thunuk, but a Wunnock.
Sorry, that was really bad.
No,
That was really bad, but it's okay because
I eventually have to get
it's
the
done
Word
now.
Jail animations set up
Oh,
because I have a whole plan here. So we talked about. I'm just have the notes that I went through for all the clips I'm pulling this week. 24 minutes in, we talked about blackmail. Someone got blackmailed. I don't know.
emotional blackmail.
Oh, that's right. We talked about
Oh.
moms having that
Emotional
invisible power. That's
blackmailing.
what it was. Okay. We did talk very briefly about Tasmanian Devils versus Badgers, which I think is worthy of further exploration at a later date. Thunuk's full name.
Beaverhead.
Well, it was Thunuk Mosthew Beaverhead Gentletrunk. So I don't know if that was actually his, because we actually, as we found out, it wasn't actually his mom. So maybe she was just making stuff up.
No, he has a middle name. It's
It's
And
not,
not-
Beaverhead.
It's not Mosthew.
No.
We had song part 1. I had something about mom here again. There's a lot of. This was a mom episode. This was the Mother's Day episode. I have reveal. I'm not sure what was revealed at that point. That might have been when the skin was peeled off.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that was when the skin was peeled off, based on the times here. So.
Oh man, I saw Red Dragon the other day, and that's what that reminded me of.
Then we had song part
Transforming,
2.
becoming. Ugh.
The song part 2. I have Dice. I don't know why Dice is on here. I don't know.
Giants kept rolling poorly.
Maybe.
also we were
Romp?
talking about.
Why did I write? Sometimes I'm not going to know this until I actually look at the. I pull this up again. Romp. I don't know why I have Romp in here.
Mm.
Song part 3. Dren taunting taunting one of the monsters. Yeah, that was the one actually. That was the exact one because I have blah written down. Well, we had a little Macho Man interlude, so that was always a little. You can't ever go wrong with the mach. And then this was a throwaway line, and this came from Yvonne, but it was funny. Oh, it's Rob from accounting. Do I recognize? Oh, yeah, it's Rob from.
That's Rob
Yeah,
from
that's
Accounting.
funny.
Also, okay, if the "I need an adult" isn't in the recap, I'm gonna revolt.
That was in character, by the way. That was not me.
Yeah,
Uh,
I need an adult. I must have missed that.
it was when it was when the monster was coming on to Thunuk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
the
right,
break.
right, right.
Not mom said some really odd things.
Yeah,
I
yeah, about the
know-
romp.
I'm gonna have to find that. Maybe
That's what romp is.
Yeah,
That's right. That's what romp was. That's because I need an adult. Yes, that's
I
what it
need
was.
an adult. That needs to
Yeah,
be included.
that's in
that
there.
was
Yeah,
funny.
that was funny. But the Rob from accounting was really. I really like that because then I'm just imagining like the Office version of like where I gotta go see Rob from accounting. It's oh god, and it's like Rob just wants to be friends with everyone, but he's just that socially awkward, elder god horror.
He's
Oh,
this
eldritch
eldritch
horror.
tentacle thing.
It's this eldritch horror that everyone walks in and is immediately driven insane. Wow, we go through so many people that way. Oh god,
Anybody want a chocolate chip cookie? Ah!
it's just, and like the only person that could deal with it is Dolores from HR, for whatever reason. And that's what it's like to work at Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast.
There's a horrifying tentacle beast.
It's like, you gotta go down to HR. Oh god, no, anything but HR.
I don't want to go to HR. HR bad.
Yes. So that was some fun stuff. So we're gonna have to see what the repercussions will be in future episodes of choices that were made today. We do. I think we might need to tweet Jeremy Crawford about the polymorph question that we were discussing.
I don't think we.
I more just want to ask him about because Traxigor is technically considered a beast, and the fun part is Traxigor is a level 12 sorcerer, but you're not allowed to speak or cast spells. So it's like, are you just a level 12 otter? And if that's the case, what does a level 12 otter mean?
Oh, I completely misheard that. Are you a level 12 otter? Which is like
He's an otter.
That'd be the greatest thing.
Traxigor is an otter.
Oh.
Traxigor is an otter. So I just would like
They're
to know
innate
what.
sorcerers.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd like to figure out what the actual everything of a level 12 otter would be, because that's
I
amusing to
really-
me.
Where is that? What is that one of the?
It's Descent into Avernus.
Oh, okay.
Traxigor is.
I gotta get that. I do not have.
It's a good
it
one.
amuses me to no end that across every single D&D edition that I've ever encountered, Eberron, Forgotten Realms, Greyhawk, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, polymorph is the worst written spell in every edition. It is the spell that causes the most problems. It is the spell that is
But
the
it's
hardest
so
to
fun.
It is fun as hell is the problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some DMs actually rule based on an array.
Mhm.
So, if you feel like it's too powerful, you can base it on, as Clue said before, based on the party's
Base it
level
off the
or
party.
Exactly.
or whatever.
Exactly.
So there are methods for DMs to say, you know what, this doesn't fit correctly in my campaign. It's going to be like this, and then you're obviously beholden to the DM's approval or ruling on that, and that's fine. But I just was reading it, and I'm reading other things, and I'm like, this doesn't match what I was hearing before, and I just wanted to double check. So it's something that we can work on and try and figure out.
Yeah, because like I said, and this comes to the way that the spell is written, is that if you polymorph yourself, and polymorph being a concentration spell, that's the question I'm trying to think of is, do you, because all of your stats become the stats of that creature. So if you have 18 intelligence now, but you become a Labrador, you now have an intelligence of 4, I'm assuming. And
I think
based
physical
on the
stats
Labradors
are the
I've
only
met.
things that change. Your
It
mental
just
stats
says,
remain the same.
No, it literally says in here that the target's game statistics, including the mental ability scores, are replaced by the statistics of the chosen.
Holy
group.
crap!
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
can make yourself really dumb.
You can make yourself
Yeah.
really freaking stupid.
But that's what I'm saying is that by doing that, would
Well,
that not
but-
be
okay.
that?
That's
But-
really
but
funny.
it's- okay, you can make yourself. So here's how I've always judged it being a DM.
Mhm.
You can change your intelligence, but it literally says in there that you retain the alignment and personality.
Mhm.
So you can be yourself, but you can be a stupid version of yourself.
Yes.
Right.
So
Exactly.
you can still technically concentrate. It's just you're
Well,
gonna be kind of dumb.
Well, let's parse this out a little bit. Now I know we're not dealing with previous second edition and first edition. I can't remember if it was in fourth and fifth, but or third. That it used to be that if you wanted to be any kind of spellcaster, you had a minimum intelligence stat to be a wizard, right? If you wanted to be a cleric, you had a minimum wisdom stat. If you did not have that stat, they just didn't. It was against the rules, right? But the idea being is that if your main spellcasting ability is based on intelligence and you've got really low intelligence, defeats the purpose of being able to cast spells, because everyone's going to be able to make their save rolls against everything you do. So by parsing it out, my question is it possible that you make yourself too stupid to actually concentrate on it? Because there's people
Possibly.
that I know who have limited mental capacity,
I mean,
who can barely concentrate on making a hot dog. Could they concentrate on the arcane knowledge required to maintain polymorph?
possibly. I mean, and that could be, well, that's why you're not gonna, I mean, if you're gonna turn yourself into like an owl has a base intelligence of 2. So you're not gonna probably concentrate being an owl. Would you be able to gain the benefit of flying? Possibly, but then I would argue that with it being a -4 to your intelligence, you'd probably be too stupid to maintain concentration on it. Now, if you were to say go for like a T-Rex or something like that, I think, what is their
I hope there's not such thing as an intelligent
intelligence.
T-Rex. Jesus Christ.
Awaken
That's
is
horrifying.
a spell.
yeah. So
You have to have like a multi-thing. All right, I'm going to turn myself into the T-Rex. Then you awaken and so that way my brain is what it's... Well, here's what I'm thinking. All right, so let me run this one out at you. If we were to run it like, let's say, for example, Roz, that you decided you want to polymorph yourself into...
Here we go. A giant ape. Giant ape has a base intelligence of 7.
7.
Not bad.
Or you wanted to turn yourself into a parrot. Parrots are pretty smart. Crows are pretty smart. But you said you want to polymorph yourself into. What if it were then, now you had to do, to maintain concentration, it was now like a skill check based on that. So it's like, I would wonder if that would be...
Do an intelligence check with advantage.
If you look at concentration, it does not state anything about losing concentration if your intelligence drops. Like if you get feeble-minded, like there's nothing in the concentration rule that says you lose concentration if your intellect goes down.
This is true.
So, I don't know.
You might have. Just
I would
discovered
argue
the
more. I would argue more that because your intelligence has gone down, that if you get if the DM can distract you by something or something along that nature, that could break your concentration.
Well, here's the thing. All right, so I'm going to use that as an example. Feeble mind, right? The first thing is psychic damage, and we do know if you take damage, you have to roll to maintain concentration, right? So we have that. But let's assume that saving throw is made, and you still remain... Charisma... Oh, the intelligence and charisma score become 1. Oh, here it is. Here we go. If you have feeble mind, the creature can't cast spells, activate magic items, understand language, or communicate in any intelligible way. The creature can, however, identify its friends, follow them, and even protect them. At the end of 30 days, the creature can oh my god. At the end of 30 days, the creature can repeat its saving throw against this spell if it succeeds.
Jesus.
So...
Well, the spell's already cast, though, at that point, so you just can't cast anything else.
We couldn't cast anything else in the first
exactly.
place because that goes against the
yeah, because it's
spell.
intelligence. Because man, I don't know because there's a lot of gray area where you could argue one or the other. I think it would be funny if you cast polymorph and were unable to get out of it.
Well,
it
you
lasts an
baleful
hour.
polymorph
Yeah.
yourself.
At
God,
the end
that
of an
would
hour,
suck.
it's going to go away. The duration is an hour.
So worst
Yeah.
case scenario is that, although it would be funny that, well, yeah, but
Polymorph
now
lasts for
it kind
more
of got
than an hour.
lost.
Consult
Like that,
a
that
cleric.
part of the spell got lost, and now you're.
I mean, honestly,
I mean, this is why they have wild shape. Obviously, wild shape is
Yeah.
the solution to that if you have that ability. But if not, I think it would be. I think that would have to be a conversation to say how would that exactly would play out, because
yeah.
I have questions, and I would be curious to see what Crawford would have to say about that, because he is the rules designer. I mean, he knows, but I'd be curious. But yeah,
He has the knowledge. He has the power.
If I see him at East, I'll ask.
When is East?
Weekend after
Week and a
next?
half.
Holy crap.
wow.
Yeah.
So that means we'll play next week, and then we'll have another week off because
I will be going.
yes, and well, then there's Zach Inc. games as well. There's C Team and there's main game, and is Xavier going to be at that one too? I have to still catch up on the last one. Is Xavier Woods? Is he like
I
kind
don't
of like?
think he. Wait. I think this will be his. Wait, I can't say that.
Mhm.
Yes, he'll be there.
Oh, never mind.
Non-disclosure, goddammit! Non-disclosure.
NDAs, I don't want to get. Don't sue me.
NDA.
The sentence was not completed. Anyway, and this is why you should tune into our program. On that note, any other new business we need to take care of? Are we still seeing the adventures of Mr. Toad?
Captain Toad.
Captain Toad.
It's I keep feeling like I'm just on the verge of finishing Banner Saga 2, and then it's like, oh, one more thing. I'm like,
One more thing. No, I don't want there to be more things, but one more thing. No.
yeah, no, it's always Uncle from Jackie Chan Adventures showing up. It's like, one more thing.
Great
like,
character.
But Captain Toad is doing the same thing. I keep thinking I'm finishing a section of the game. It's like, oh, hey, guess what? Episode 4. Like, you still have to keep rescuing these people over and over again. But yeah, I'm still playing Banner Saga 2 until I finish that and Captain Toad. And as soon as I finish Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, no, actually, it's probably not going to finish it. Never going to finish it. Probably always going to make new levels for it. As soon as I finish Banner Saga 2, I'm returning to SNES and pre-SNES games.
I was
I like
thinking
it.
the other day that Gauntlet should be on your list.
Ooh, Gauntlet would be fun.
Gauntlet needs to be on the list.
Which Gauntlet? Because I remember playing that in the arcade.
This Gauntlet. One.
What Gauntlet?
Gauntlet.
Not gauntlets. Gauntlet.
Gauntlet. Right, but what was that on? Or was that a
Was there
NES?
an NES version?
NES. I think. I'd have to
No.
look.
Oh,
No,
I see it. Yeah, there's an NES Gauntlet.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
I'll have a go at it.
Oh yeah,
I'm trying
and
to think
I
of. I'm
forgot
trying to think of a really hard NES game that I had.
Metroid.
No. Yeah. Wasn't that
Well,
one.
Castlevania was it. I mean, Jesus, that's.
Castlevania.
Well, here's the thing. My nephew.
Silver Surfer.
Oh God.
Fuck that game.
My nephew has a Switch and he's playing. They have access to all the old Nintendo games, and he's learning how absolutely punishing those games actually are, because all the games now, even if we play them on an emulator, it's unlimited. It's like unlimited continues.
Yeah. Save states where you can frame save. Yeah.
Where you can come back and play that one level over and over and over again and still not beat it, and you don't have to worry about. Whereas with the NES, it was you had your 3 lives, and if you lost them, you started the game over.
You know what? I would really like to see, Yvonne. I would love to see a Mega Man playthrough.
Or Battletoads.
Battletoads for sure.
That was hard.
But Mega Man 1 through every NES Mega Man.
I
1
played
through
Mega
3.
Man on the Game Boy, and I don't think I finished it.
Mega Man 1 is hard. Mega Man 2
Mega Man
is
was very hard.
insane.
Mega Man 2 was hard. Let's see, I've beaten 1, 2, 3.
I haven't played Mega Man. My friend who owned an NES when I was a kid in Iceland, he played Mega Man.
And
And he's like, okay, when I die, you get to play next. I'm like, okay. And he's like, oh, no, this doesn't count. No, this doesn't count.
Have you done Ninja Gaiden yet?
Ooh, that's a great one.
No, it's actually one of the... I did download it, though.
It makes me
another
laugh.
tough one.
I can't remember if it's like Bob or Dave, but it's like Bob Hayabusa. I was like, Bob Hayabusa?
Or Ghosts and Goblins. I remember that
That's a
one.
good one.
Yes, that's an excellent one. Another hard one.
Contra, the Contra games, all of them.
Contra,
Okay.
the original Contra.
Contra,
and you're
Super
allowed to
Contra.
use the Konami code. That's just allowed.
No, you
Okay.
aren't.
Yes, you are. That was
so
built into the original game.
The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game was hard, but it was very fun.
Yes. That was
I
actually
agree.
really
We actually
I
talked
had
about
that
this.
one.
This was the one where there was portions of the game where it was a top-down, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I would say, just on general principle, because it was so much fun, Mario 3.
Mario 1, 2, and 3 were good.
You got to play the Marios, or if we're going like you have to play it, even though whatever. Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah.
I did. That was one of the first ones I did, actually.
It's so ridiculous.
And then Kid Icarus.
Okay.
Just
I don't like Kid Icarus, but it's not a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
You could start into the Final Fantasy stuff, like the OG Final Fantasy.
Oh, the first one got me hooked because the instruction manual is 80 pages long.
I have played one.
Really?
I played one because I had to get a Game Boy Advance.
What's it
And then I
called?
played 7. No, I played 8 after that.
Mm.
Blaster Master. That's what it's called.
Ah,
Bomberman.
Blast. Bomberman's great. I love Bomberman.
You know what I wish they would make? They made a Bomberman 64 that was an RPG, and it was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, and I want them to. I want more Bomberman 64.
There's
You okay there?
What we're saying though is that there is a wealth of original Nintendo games that are just
Yeah.
that
That's a
we're
lot.
remembering very fondly. But I went and tried to play Mega Man because I downloaded. You could buy like the pack through on Xbox Live, and man, that game is hard. I've gotten soft in the intervening years. Gotten used to this. Oh,
Your thumbs have gotten rusty and gained weight, and they have a paunch. You have thumb paunch.
the only game in recent memory, and I'm going to say in the last 15 years, that has come close to the level of hard, ready to rage quit, is one specific level in the first God of War game where you had to jump up these spinning pillars with spikes on them, and it was a terrible, terrible level.
I haven't played that.
And it's the only thing that came close to that feeling of the game cheats, and you throw the controller across the room. And the Nintendo controllers could take it. The controllers now, they would break, and you would break something with them. But the Nintendo controller
They could
was
take
light.
it because they were wired.
Yeah, well, they were also light, and you could throw them, and they'd chip and whatever, but they would still work. But the game cheated.
There wasn't a lot with parts in there that you had to worry about.
I mean,
also.
Rage is real, though.
The rage is real.
Rage is real.
Anyway,
Yes.
So yeah, there will be more. There'll be more Eat Drink Roll on Tuesday night with some late to the game, and then there will be more, provided we don't get another visit by the Nurgle. We will have more Dungeons and Dragons Team X next week at 4 p.m. Eastern, where we will see: does Thunuk survive? Did his mom make it out? What did Hugon agree to? Will Dren ever retain or regain her sanity?
God, I hope
Did I
not.
ever have
Did
it?
she have it to begin with? When
This
is
is how she
Eno,
originally lost
when
it.
is Eno dropping his next hot track? When does the compilation album come out? When does the mixtape drop?
When will the DM join the beard gang?
Never, because I can't.
I believe in you.
My hair follicles don't. Anyway, we will be back next week with some more Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you very, very much for joining us. And hey, bring a friend. We'd love to have you have some company. So, but we will see you soon. So, bye-bye.
Bye.
Eat your greens.